get some closure? Stay right where you are and don't come closer. If you haven't picked it up, it's over. You wanted her, so just give me what I deserve. So can I get some closure? Stay right where you are and don't come closer. If you haven't picked it up, it's over. Run back to her, 'cause I got what I want, closure. You wanted her. You left me hurt. But I'm quiet as long as I give me some closure. Who you think you are. You're lucky that I don't want revenge. So can I get some closure? Stay right where you are and don't come closer. If you haven't picked it up, it's over. You wanted her, so just give me what I deserve. So can I get some closure? Stay right where you are and don't come closer. If you haven't picked it up, it's over. Run back to her, 'cause I got what I want, closure.
How far away do we need to get it?
We're soaring up high, got no clue. How do I know what I mean to you? Yeah. Say it out loud, spill the truth. Tell me how I'm gonna get close to you. Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Got me all lost, feel so blue. Leaving me on the spot so confused. Oh baby, tasting so sweet, acting so rude. Won't you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Dance on the beat. I don't want no excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream. Keep on dreaming about us, baby. Hey. Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside.
That's where we're at.
Wanna be the person that you call up when you're down.
They're generous gifts.
It actually,
This is a great gift.
yes, that one was a great gift. The last time around, it wasn't. The last time it was a yellow land, and I'm not playing
Oh,
yellow.
well, thank you.
You're very welcome. I knew you needed it.
Yes, I did actually. That
Oh,
worked
and now I
for
gotta
me.
figure out what the heck I actually have and what I've been doing. And
said you're the best Magic player. Really, it's a good card. He's got you there.
Do what the best do.
The best is what my mother said.
I tend to have a. I think I always end up with a lot of threes. I don't know how I keep doing that.
Yep. Count that pack. Make sure to look over your cards. Make sure you got all the cards you need. Look over your combined 2 packs that you've now drafted. Look at what you got. You know, get an idea of where you are at in the draft and everything. Here, you'll give everyone a minute to go ahead and look over their cards and stuff like that. Get everything set aside, prepared.
He's picking. Yeah, okay.
Okay, okay, last little bit over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, no worries, it's just on a corner. I know this corner is done, so.
They're done?
Yeah,
we
got the last
got
pack
through all
again.
ours.
Oh.
It'll just, it'll cascade around the table.
But so what you're saying is that I'm not getting this back.
I'm actually doing better this time than I did last time on my.
This time I'm actually paying attention to mana curve somewhat.
Creature
Yeah,
or
same.
recursion?
I sort of kind of might have a decent.
Last time I drafted way too many high cards. And I was
Yeah.
That set was also very
A lot. That's
heavy.
why I was confused by what you
That's
said.
I'm a little confused too. What the hell
So I know what I need to do now.
I vaguely know what I
Everyone
need to do.
count how many cards you drafted this time around. Make sure you're good, because the pack's a little full. Okay, so you're missing 1.
10.
You know, to be fair,
Oh, wait.
do this.
Sorry.
That would
Then
have been
12.
my pick.
Okay, so
So-
that'll be your last round. Yeah, just,
I definitely got 14. I checked.
Okay, make
And yeah,
I've got 28 total, so yeah.
that's a token. Yeah, okay, yeah. You should have 28 total.
So I'm missing one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hear a good number here. 28.
How did
Good, you're solid.
I'm at 13.
I only have 27. I got 27.
And so this pack
28? So
I have
will
28.
have
27,
a
27.
this pack will have a
Oh, are we
mythic,
counting the first
not
pack?
one of the colors I want.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Wow.
Just calling it now.
So this corner, back said 27 here.
Okay. I'm missing one card.
Calling it now. It'll be a mythic.
That should go, yeah, that needs to go there and be drafted to you 3.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened exactly, but we're fixing it. So.
Pink cards. You have to use
We're
one
on the
white and
second
one
half.
red
Just
land
the second
to
one,
play
and then
one.
we're going
Taking sculptor board.
Yeah. And then pass it.
Pass it to you right. No, you're good. It happens along the way. I was trying to keep an eye out, but something slips somewhere. It happens. Always happens.
Yeah.
That's why we always keep it the zone drafting best we can to make sure packs don't stack up or get skipped. Perfect, but that should finish you guys out properly.
I'm at 14, so.
So I have a
Perfect.
14.
Boom. Perfect. Okay, cool. This corner, just go ahead and double check the packs, make sure everything's good. Sweet. Go ahead and get all your stuff set together, set aside, make sure you don't mix it with the last pack we're going to be drafting here. As a reminder, this last pack we are drafting, back to the left. Back to the left. Yep.
yeah, just keep pointing.
My
reminding
left
me.
would go this way.
I will forget again.
Yes. Open your final pack. And have fun and
May you enjoy
what
what I do. Difficult. Every single pack is hard for me to open. Usually you grab one and tear, but I have
These
to
are
like
token inserts.
wiggle.
In case people don't want to use sleeves, you would write the name of the flip card.
So we can take the
And
token
then
you said?
put that in instead of a regular flip card you were playing.
No, it's like the ones you get in Arena, right? You just write whatever card you want it to.
That'd be real fun.
I'm gonna call this one a mythic.
Alright, so
The art cards come with their signature.
Nope, I got also a.
Nice.
Which means we'll be one. Does that mean somebody will be one short a card?
No, that is.
Oh, that
That
was
was
the
instead of
instead
the
of a
token.
token.
Yeah,
That's
Maniac.
Actual like 14.
Guard, werewolf.
Desperate Farmer,
There's really
Chalice
not a whole lot in
Light.
this pack
Oh,
that I
good
want.
lord.
Oh, I didn't look at that.
Harvest Hand.
I got Hinterland Logger.
Yeah.
Did I manage to only get one this time?
I got 2 Harvest Hands and a Town Gossip Monger. There's a Town Gossip Monger as well.
Yeah, Hinterland
Good lord.
Logger. That was the one I got.
Actually,
Yep.
where did it go?
Drafting Aesthetic Awakener.
Oh yeah, no.
Static Awakener. There it is.
Which way?
I wasn't sure.
It has a weird
You're
left.
going left.
Okay, that way.
No, you're right. You
These
said
are
right.
mine.
It's static. There's a
Very bad at.
set that are seemingly hard to pronounce.
Yeah, that's
There's
So
4
don't feel
different
bad at
awakeners.
any point.
good. What the heck happened?
They just need to stay asleep.
Yeah. It'd be funny if it was like
Yeah.
esoteric. Like, it all
I
was
know.
like very
There was 3
similar.
cards, and I'm like, any of these 3 would be really good. And
I know. I had that same.
Alright,
I couldn't
alright.
decide.
Interesting, interesting. I think I go with that one.
Ooh, that could be good. Oh, you can. Yeah, feel free to move any of our stuff.
Taking the mayor of Avabrook.
because we're not sponsored by Starbucks.
I love the mayor.
Yeah. Oh, that would be
Taking
nice.
Covetous Castaway.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh,
fun. Yeah.
Training is
good
if this
card.
attacks for something bigger, I get a +1/+1.
Yeah. Well, if we
You know
could.
my concept? Yep. It has to attack
like,
for something larger than it. And
So part of the reason why we're up here and hoping that Dalton, he said he was going to come up today,
When it attacks
to
or after
talk
it does
about
damage?
restarting
When
the
it attacks,
Portland
it's an attack.
Vancouver
It's looking
one.
that it attacks
And
with
where to do
something,
it.
another teammate
Huh?
essentially.
I know. Well, and I was
So there's
telling Jared, I was
training,
like,
and then
did you
there's,
tell Gary that you guys
it's
are
the other
coming?
one,
So he knew you,
Yeah.
like the intention
Gary
is.
pinged us
know
a
the
long
card
time
No, I
ago.
know.
Yeah.
When he pinged you, did you respond? Is what
Yeah.
I meant.
Bench. Oh, is that what it is? No, mentor is a different effect. It's horns too. Look at horns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How that's attack?
Well,
no,
and
that's
it's
attack
probably
alone.
not going to be on the Intel campus
Yeah.
anymore, and so yeah, it's just finding the new one. There is a place on the fairgrounds that's like 20 minutes north of Vancouver, so it is still close enough for Portland to a lot of people, and it's where PDX-LAN has theirs.
It does happen.
But we know they
I don't
can
think it's cheap
support.
because PDX lands $160 a ticket. So
Yeah.
Brother, I don't think that works.
yeah.
I don't think it works. Unless you get an
Oh, there's a Ren somewhere in the box. Got a Ren emblem.
Okay.
Is it guaranteed for us? No. I was like, if that's true, that's hilarious. I've never heard that. Although, like, the past 3 times I've gotten a Planeswalker, I've gotten that. Now, notably, back in
Yeah.
3-4
Well,
years
and
ago
it's
at least,
making sure that there's enough
tokens
space
have rarity.
and the bandwidth.
and the rarity matched the card with them.
Yeah, and the
So,
power.
Finding an emblem used to
Not
be
blowing
extremely
up
difficult.
power on
Yeah.
buildings
That
is a
card
big
itself
thing.
would be a mythic.
Yeah.
That I think changed. Actually, it might have been longer than that because it changed with Dominaria when they did all of the uncommon.
That would have been.
walkers.
I thought it was Amonkhet.
No, it was the first Dominaria.
Oh.
The first
Drafting
Dominaria.
Desperate Farmer.
Is it cool if I give you a headset so I can ask you questions instead of them asking me to relay it to you and back and forth?
It's pretty desperate.
You are good, all set up. This is your currently muted, unmuted.
Good. Because I'm taking something for.
You're going to 99%.
What?
It's another one where 2 cards. Like depends on which direction I want.
I'll respond to
My deck
Judge.
to
I'm
go.
also Ian.
And now it's kind of too late to decide that.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Our judge has his headset on. Response.
Oh, there's 2 of the
fun.
same in here. I like the pretty.
Taking a Lunarch veteran.
I know some of those cards are.
I'll take the pretty. There were 2 of the same card, and I'm taking the pretty one.
There's like 2 in there that I want.
See.
I needed it anyway because I've been really good about not getting too many high-end hitters, and now I'm like, oh, I need a couple of big boys.
I can ask. I'll see if anyone wants to be on stream. Taking another Lunarch veteran.
Taking the village messenger.
Regretting a pick I made earlier.
Yeah. Regretting a pick I didn't make earlier.
Right.
Gotta love that moment.
First or second thing, I'm like, that might have been cool.
That's
And then
about 50% of drafts.
Seriously. Every time you draw a card, you're like,
Which one?
Wrong decision.
I don't need you, but
What is an SDI cable?
you're
What does
good.
it do?
I know I am.
Oh my gosh. No, it's one I don't need. Like, I really don't need that kind of card.
Like any
Yeah.
But it's a good
HDMI
one,
or just
so
like
I'm gonna take it anyway.
Have we been talking
what 2 things need to transfer video?
We'll see if it blows up.
Oh, the visual and audio.
No, so it transfers video like HDMI, like an HDMI cable.
Yeah.
What two things
Might
over
be
here are
fun.
gonna need? What two things that
I'm
will be here
taking
are gonna
thing
need?
in the ice.
Ah, there's the thing in the
That was one of them.
Got a big
That's a tough call what I just did there.
What other thing will need to transport video?
I'm not sure between those two. I was like, oh, they're
I
both
like
good.
the Kraken card.
No idea.
I like water in general.
What else would need video?
Blue is a good color. It's a fun color.
I'm not using
It's fun for
computers.
everybody involved with every
They
spell
generally
that's
have
blue.
a camera on them.
Oh, we have a camera over here.
Disagree.
I like when otters get prowess and all of a sudden it goes do 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 do, and you're like, oh well, that was cool.
I should show you. I built. I'm running the Simic Otter bounce deck.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen that on Standard Ladder recently?
No.
It's so fun.
I do play otters fairly often.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar with most of their mechanics, but
Well, so you know
They
Storm
do.
Chaser's talent probably.
yeah.
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 So you use Storm Chaser's talent, and then this town ain't big enough for the boat. Or this town ain't big enough.
Oh,
Which
see, that's the stuff I'm really bad at.
yeah, you bounce it back to your hand a bunch of times, and you
Yes.
return it back, and you get a million otters, and then you play a bunch of mill and draw spells that all cost like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then you use those to buff your otters. Because you don't need
So,
buff spells.
but the town ain't big enough is from another deck, and that's the part where I really struggle is going, okay, so I'm playing Foundations, but this card all the way back in this works really well with,
It
which is,
takes a while to really start looking at those, and or
well, that's why I started just like all the cats. It doesn't matter what it comes from. If it's a cat,
Drafting Harvest
I
Hand?
built a cat deck.
yeah, typal is a lot easier to build a lot of the time. Tribal, typo, either way you want to say it, but.
It's really nice when you have
Yeah, he's
those
backed up.
land cards that like you can use this to cast.
Any type color.
Yeah,
for
and
these
so
creatures.
everything's otters. So you're like, oh, otter. My angels, when I built an angels deck,
Cavern
it
of
worked
Souls.
really nice.
Oh yeah, Cavern of Souls is the savior. Cavern of Souls, Three Tree City.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of the other name thing there.
Well, there's a couple in the angels that let you, like, when you play another angel and it keeps adding more and more things. Like, they synergize really well together.
Town gossip monger. Voice crack.
That one.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing I'm bad at. I don't like to be mean, so I consider a card that kills a mean card. So I don't like to pick them. Like,
They're
I'll
so
do
good.
I'll do Death Touch, but I don't like the destroy thing.
Oh, I love the
so,
And I
destroy
was
card.
so
good.
bad.
It's like
Somebody
I
plays
don't-
that 10-10 dinosaur, and you
Get
just
rid of
go.
it.
I rage quit every time.
Yeah.
Pull out a 10-10 dinosaur, I'm
Right,
done.
but if you have that
Yeah.
1 mana kill card, you
Yeah.
can take out this massive
That's
like my
yeah.
gift
creature.
Huh?
You don't like my gift shaft?
No Sun's Avatar here. No sir.
That's like my favorite deck.
Gishath is a fun one.
Ramp, vomit.
Doesn't
work really
doesn't
well,
matter.
actually.
Eventually, I will get my dinosaurs out.
Oh
Does
my
not
gosh.
matter how many times you remove them, they will go.
Yeah, you gotta have a protection spell in there with it.
A couple. It's what you got. White and green though. You can fit plenty.
That's stupid.
Snake veil's good. Skin on there.
Yes.
There's
yes.
this new skeleton
And then you get
that
that one
hits you
pack
and
where you
takes
go,
half your life.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate
that
that
is fun.
skeleton.
The
I forget- and-
unstoppable slasher.
And
It's a
he only
zombie.
costs 2.
3.
Oh, 3?
It's 3.
Goes 3.
It's 3.
It's too low for what it does.
What about the one that puts your life to total to 1?
I don't think I've played against someone who had that one.
That's Rakdos.
I played against someone who had that if you have this card, you cannot lose.
Yep.
And it went
Herald of Eternal Dawn.
45 minutes. And I had negative. Oh no, I had it. I played against somebody who had something else. I didn't have any kill spells. I was negative 115 lives. It was 45 minutes. I took a screenshot. I was like, okay, at some point there should be like a.
Mercy rule.
Yeah, like.
Anytime.
But I had the dawn. I had the dawn card, I was at a negative 100 and something. I could not get him out. It was awful.
The first time I saw a master of
I'm taking Hanweir Watchkeep.
I don't like this one.
Why not?
I just don't like the kind of creature it is. It's not pretty, but it does what I need it
It's
to
an
do.
ugly chicken?
It's an ugly chicken. This is a chicken you can kill.
Sneak attack.
There was a TV show many, many years ago with a bunch of kids like doing their own little, it was on Fox. It's called Kid Nation. This one little
Kid
girl.
Nation was so rough. I love the concept of the show, but
Oh,
man,
it was brutal.
That many
That
kids
was-
should never been given that much power to do anything.
Well, but the little
Or
girl,
make
when they're
decisions.
trying to
That's why it
like,
only went for
decide
one
whether or
season.
not-
They're like, yeah, this is.
Yeah, because on survival situations, like you want
Brutal.
survival things or a TV. TV. There's no power.
But there was a little girl when they were trying to decide if they should start
Case.
killing the chickens, and she's sitting in the chicken coop going, "But don't kill the pretty chickens." So in our
Yeah,
family,
little kids being attached to the animals too.
Yeah.
yes, she's like, "No, you can't kill them." It's like, we need meat. You can't don't kill the pretty chickens.
All is so expensive. You always have to pay all of the mana cost every time you want to play one.
Well, a lot of the Eldrazi's have the emerge, which makes it way easier.
My favorite card from Modern Horizons 3 is Aragax, which is the mono that gives everything like the merge.
I'll
It
do
makes all of the red.
Am I building a 4-color deck? Is that what I'm doing here?
Oh no!
Is that
A
crazy?
4-color deck. Oh.
Three's bold.
I'm aware.
I don't know. Four.
A 4-color deck. Oof.
I have this chromatic lantern. I don't know where it came from.
Oh, there you
Just,
go.
When do we go to Ravnica remap?
Oh, there's a lot of
There's a whole bunch of
two-sided.
two-sided ones in that one. Yes.
Hey, same time
I
last
feel
year,
like
that's
people
what
are a
happened.
little
That's true.
leery
That's
about
true.
dealing with the two-sided ones.
A much worse set, I'll be honest.
yeah.
Mainly because they didn't put shock planes in it.
Yeah.
That was
Wait,
a very
is
big risk.
This
would've been sad.
colorless? Or, okay,
So it's generic mana technically in this case.
right.
It is a colorless card that represents no color. It does not require a colorless mana though. It just requires generic 3.
Okay. So then Harvest Hand, because
that's a
there's
pack that has
not
2 of
much
them.
left.
Someone will draft. Have to draft one.
And apparently Hinterland Logger.
Everyone's getting their last
I'm-
bits.
These
So it
are
should be 14,
not
14,
going
14.
away.
Hope you like Hinterland
So
Lager.
you should end up
Oh
with
no.
42.
Nope.
Oh.
I'm gonna do that.
Because normally it's 45, but there's
whoops.
3 token inserts, 1 for each
Yeah.
pack, so 42.
And then there's my final.
There's your final.
Oh yay, thank you.
Oh.
So
That works for me.
you will build a
The last
40
two cards
card
were
minimum deck
absolutely
from here.
useless.
And
Using
here's
the
your
pool
final.
open And any basic lands. I have over here.
Harvest Hand. I think that's my own choice.
Or at least it should be.
Yeah.
I'm at 14. Are you at 14?
Yeah, nice
How'd you
point.
manage to not?
That's 14.
How is it 14? Oh, you don't have them lined up.
One of them like
I was like,
there.
that doesn't make sense. There.
Testing. 1,
Okay,
2, 3. This is caster 2. Or maybe caster 1. Who knows?
Should be fine. Any of the sleeves over there should be perfectly fine.
So we need to borrow sleeves because both of us have quite a few double faces.
Yeah.
Very high.
There's my big boy.
Testing.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
I say I don't think I got a single
Yeah.
legendary creature.
He's a
I wonder, you probably
White,
picked him
black,
the first
red.
time.
Oh wait, or maybe
It was, I cracked him and then passed it right. It was him and the Garruk Planeswalker in the same
Oh wait,
pack.
I'm hearing the
Like,
audio from the game.
I didn't have any green and I had a couple of red spells already, so I was like, well, I'm picking the red. Don't even know
Oh,
if I'm gonna
well.
end up playing it.
Ended up
Hey,
with
he is spicy. Yes.
So we do not need to whittle down like we did yesterday,
You still
right?
can.
Quite as much. It really depends on how intense your draft is.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of the same color, then you're probably still gonna have to. But if you have, oh, Hullbreaker, nice.
Yeah, see,
Literally my first card.
this is why I went black, because that was in my first pack. So I was like, okay.
Oh, wait, that's an expensive card. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, this card is actually very expensive. That's a really sought after vampire card.
Yeah, that was the first one I
Soaring.
drew, and I was like, woohoo, that looks cool.
Full art Soaring.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could actually, since I have that app that tells me
How
it's
much
any
it
good.
is. You might not want to play with it.
Yeah.
I got the app because I had no clue what the cards were, and I'm like, well, this app that will scan the card and tell me if it's any good.
You have one black creature. Yeah, technically I have two.
I guess.
Yeah, see, this is what I was afraid of. I drafted so many white cards. They're all creatures.
Yeah.
White card for creatures.
Yeah, and then all my red cards are spells.
Did you draft red and white too?
And blue.
Oh, blue, red, white, blue.
And then 3 black cards.
Red, white, and blue.
Problem is both my my dual lands are black. So I could splash it. Red, white, black, but then I don't get my blue cards, which I kind of wanted them.
All right.
Yes,
So
the
now,
Delvers and the things. Don't really have a lot of draw.
yeah, I have one
I have
land
several
that does
useless,
not work.
Yeah, I was gonna say several
Every-
useless cards where it's a land that's not the
So
color.
nobody ever wants what I want.
No.
And so I end up with every card that works for me, and I don't end up with. I have one lane card that doesn't work. Everything else is fine.
Yeah, I think my mana curve is gonna be posed. I got several lands that I could use, but yeah, I definitely got one that I could not use. Yeah, and then the
So
big
I
one
can
is
also
one
hear
that
the audio
taps-
from the
well,
game.
I guess technically I got one forest card. That one's useful.
What are the ratios?
Make it jank. It's fine.
12 or 13 creatures, 8-ish spells, 7-8 spells, and then appropriate lands.
You only want how many creatures? Oh, I'm
like
in trouble.
12, 13.
I'm in trouble.
Try tap that.
Or maybe not.
I have to add 2
No,
more
no,
lands.
I'm in trouble.
I'm in trouble.
I have
Look at my mana
way-
curve.
10 minutes, go ahead.
I have like
way
no
too
heavy
many.
hitters
Leave it up.
and a whole bunch of.
When he sneezes, I have more sets over there.
So I'm gonna, and I
Sad.
don't think I got a bunch of draw.
I will have a feature match table that they will be streaming. So
I'll take that as my land.
I will classically be doing table 1. I will ask if table 1 is okay with it. If table 1 does not want to, I will go down to table 2, and so on and so forth. So,
All right.
so my table 1 this round is going to be Jared and Duncan. Are you two okay with being streamed?
Sure.
Perfect.
That's weird. All right, Jared and Duncan are.
Jeez. Okay. Here's my problem.
Huh.
Look at this.
Uh-huh.
Those are all creatures.
Yeah, I'm very creature heavy, I noticed as well.
Oh no, I don't want to get rid of any of these though.
That's new, but it cleared out, so I don't know.
13 creatures.
I did.
Oh.
Creatures. That's actually not terrible scenario. This.
Yeah, most of my synergy is around creatures, so
This.
Yeah,
want
I
this.
talked to the players. We have our table 1.
So 26 creatures might be too many?
A little bit. That's gonna be your whole deck.
And where are they setting up?
I think is it 14 lands is responsible?
I thought he said 30.
14. So 14 lands.
Yeah.
So if you're running 26 creatures, you're running no spells.
Okay.
yeah.
And are we only doing 40, not 60?
I would suggest 16 to 17 lands at least for most decks.
No,
Really?
no, total cards. 40 or
40.
60?
40.
40.
40 minimum.
40 minimum though.
So you can run bigger than a 40 deck.
Yeah, you can. There's something you just
Can you hear me?
She's used to either 60 or 100, so it's
Yeah, I'm used to a lot of cards.
well, you don't have
I definitely
lot
heard
to
from
draw
someone
from.
else. I can hear my own voice.
23.
Yeah, but I don't
Okay,
have
so
to.
where's Jared and Duncan? Though that will be table 1. We're finishing deck building. Those will be my table 1 now.
Okay.
Those two will be at the streaming table, which is where? Remind me?
It's going to be on the other side
I'll
of these
take
vendors.
that one.
It's on the other side of these vendors. So once you guys are ready, you guys will be going down just the other side of the vendors to where they have all the lights set up
Don't need
for the streaming game round 1.
those.
And then when you're done,
Can take out that. That gets that to a more.
Yep, make sure.
How many creatures should I go for again? Is it
This one away.
was it 18 creatures and
Yeah.
Mid-teens,
mid-teens?
depending on what your deck's trying to do.
Yeah.
So I have, okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay.
Still at 20.
Total amount of colored
Shoot.
mana is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
Do you have one of those cards? Because it doesn't work in the sleeve. I have a transforming card.
Some of the sleeves, that's why I do have some darker ones over there if needed, but some of the sleeves are going to be a little opaque, unfortunately. Some of them should be fine. Yeah, okay, yeah. Old used sleeves from many people. I
think I might be running with that guy. So
yeah, if you need any of those, please let me know. I have like 9 of them over there. Right back.
oh, interesting.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
They have different art styles. That's like more of an old school art style.
Yeah, they have old school.
Slash the Y. Land.
I'm running 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 15 lands.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's worth it.
Oh yeah, he's like a $15 card.
Oh, wow. Okay. So,
Oh, nice hit. I see that beauty.
which one?
The Soren.
The Soren,
Oh,
yeah.
Gorgeous.
All right, so that puts me at how many cards?
Got 14.
So if I have 27, 13 lands
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
to hit
15.
40,
This should be a 40 card.
so I'm just gonna.
A statistically balanced mana base, which means I will never
Oh, I
draw
didn't
black
pay
mana.
attention to that part. Ah, I should do that. How many I have of what
3,
color?
4,
So 26 spell cards and 14 land. Is that right? Does that sound?
Well,
I should have exactly 40 sleeves.
yeah, 26 and 14 is pretty.
I should have brought a dice though for my planeswalker. Okay. 1, 2,
Okay.
3.
So I need.
So I need 11 lands still.
Judge didn't rewire. I was having some awful feedback on that other one.
Is this the land station to pick from?
You can take from there or from my big one up here. This is mine for our shop. Please take out. All we ask at the end, if you could please return the land so we can continue drafting these. Makes it easy. How's everyone doing on their deck building? You look like you're all. You can make decisions still.
I'm just deciding what it is.
Yeah, you're good. I'm just checking on everyone by one. No worries.
Okay.
Step back to your sleeves.
Okay. That should be good.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
If you have double-sided
9,
cards.
10, 11.
Hang on the ropes now, 'cause I wanna feel your body next to me. Get a bit closer, just a bare second till we're falling deep. Crash and burn, oh my God, look on your face, it's just my luck. Move so fast, 'cause even if I try to play it cool, I keep on circle back to what I do. I crush a little heart and hide the tools. Yeah. We could try to be more than friends. The secret of how it ends. It starts with the figure, keep getting bigger. We watch it go down in flames. Don't wanna know your name. That's how we know it ends. It starts with the figure, keep getting bigger. We watch it go down in flames. I feel it under my skin. I feel it, I'm gonna give in. We could try to be more than friends. The secret of how it ends. It starts with the figure, keep getting bigger. We watch it go down in flames. Don't wanna know your name. That's how we know it ends. It starts with the figure, keep getting bigger. We watch it go down in flames. Tell me where are you now? Are you walking in your sleep? 'Cause this is like a dream, and you're standing next to me. But it's too dark, too dark, too dark. I can barely see your face. It's too
Wanna be the person that you call up when you're down. Wanna be the first who knows all of your deepest secrets. Can I be the one who wakes you up before you missed your ride? 'Cause I wanna be close to you, and I wanna show you something new. You gotta know, every day I got your back, yeah, you can count on me for that. So put your hand in mine, I will be there every day. When you're sick of the climb, I will make sure it's okay. I know you didn't ask for any of this, but we reach for the sky. Pass with flying colors now. Gonna try to keep the pace, but someday we will find that the world has changed, but we stay true to each other. I will always be there for you whenever you need my help. I'm taking my time to be your rock. I don't ever wanna be apart. You gotta know, every day I got your back, yeah, you can count on me for that. So put your hand in mine, I will be there every day. When you're sick of the climb, I will make sure it's okay. I know you didn't ask for any of this, but we reach for the sky. Pass with flying colors now. Show you something new. You gotta know, every day I got your back. Yeah, you can count on me. Yeah. So put your hand in mine, I will be there every day. When you're sick of the climb, I will make sure it's okay. I know you didn't ask for any of this, but we reach for the sky. Pass with flying colors now. Pass with flying colors now. I wanna be close to you. I'm gonna show you something new. I wanna be close to you. I'm gonna show you something new. Taking my time to be your rock. Don't ever wanna be apart. You gotta know.
Swear I never lied to ya. Swear I never treated you bad. See, I would never do it to ya. What you did behind my back. Swear I'll never smile for ya. Swear I'll never be a fool. I'ma keep me far from ya. 'Cause what you did was so uncool. I'm not looking for revenge. I don't need you to be my friend. I just want this fake love to come to an end. So can I get some closure? Stay right where you are and don't come closer. If you haven't picked it up, it's over. You wanted her, so just give me what I deserve. So can I get some closure? it's over. You wanted her, so just give me what I deserve. So can I get some closure? Stay right where you are and don't come closer. If you haven't picked it up, it's over. Run back to her, 'cause I got what I want, closure. You wanted her. You left me hurt. But I won't cry as long as I give me some closure. Who you think you are. You're lucky that I don't want revenge. So can I get some closure? Stay right where you are and don't come closer. If you haven't picked it up, it's over. You wanted her, so just give me what I deserve. So can I get some closure? Stay right where you are and don't come closer. If you haven't picked it up, it's over. Run back to her, 'cause I got what I want, closure. I'm so good at pretending. Keep on smiling in my tiny bubble, like a movie without ending. Spending time like it was going backwards. Posters covering my walls, but they fall down. Diving deeper in the books that we read blind. Breathing in and breathing out to get smarter. Not working out for me, yeah. Got no money on my mind, tell my mommy I'm alright. Even laughing at the jokes you tell me. Keep myself inside the lines, neat and tidy all the time. If you ask me, I am fine. Got no money on my mind. Repeating patterns like the others. Meditation through the yoga lessons. Going greener by the minute. Soon I can't wear any other colors. Posters covering my walls, but they fall down. Diving deeper in the books that we read blind. Breathing in and breathing out to get smarter. Not working out for me, yeah. Got no money on my mind, tell my mommy I'm alright. Even laughing at the jokes you tell me. Keep myself inside the lines, neat and tidy all the time. If you ask me, I am fine. Got no money on my mind. Don't you worry about me. If I keep feeling like I'm missing something, don't you worry about me, yeah. Don't you worry about. Got no money on my mind, tell my mommy I'm alright. Even laughing at the jokes you tell me. Keep myself inside the lines, neat and tidy all the time. If you ask me, I am fine. Got no money on my mind.
We're soaring up high, got no clue. How do I know what I mean to you? Yeah. Say it out loud, spill the truth. Tell me how I'm gonna get close to you. Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on feel so blue, leaving me on the spot so confused. Oh baby, tasting so sweet, acting so rude. Won't you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Dance on the beat. I don't want no excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream. Keep on dreaming about us, baby. Yeah. Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Call me a rover, 'cause I'm a believer of the things we leave. I never hold on.
Welcome back, gamers. We're here at LANfest, which is, I think, the 23rd InfernaLAN. It's an annual event where we raise money for charity through playing video games. LANfest is a nationwide organization that hosts LAN parties all across the country, even different places in different countries. We play video games, we raise money for fun, we raise money for good charitable causes, and we have fun, and that's kind of what we do. I'm Lehigh Briggs, and this is my partner.
I'm Nick. Goes by Blaster McMuffin.
Awesome. We're about to get into the InfernaLAN Magic the Gathering draft. So we'll be running a Innistrad Remastered. It's a new set that just came out. The rules of the draft are pretty simple. Nick, how do you play?
Draft is a pretty fun format. So, and normally in the Magic world, we will come bring in our decks already pre-built. You'll hopefully, come to the tournament table ready to beat people up with your best creations. But in draft format, we actually pull packs, and we take those packs and build a deck on spot. So when it comes to the draft, it puts a lot of your creative skills up to boot, how well you can build a deck on the fly and getting what you can get. And then we'll also take those and, kind of play a full tournament round with that. So you do get a little bit of a sideboard, and the decks are a bit smaller than your standard 60-card decks. But usually it's a pretty fun time to jump in there and see what you can make.
Yeah, and so for the last, hour to 40 minutes, all of our contestants, I think we have a total of, 8 to 10, have been drafting, picking cards, and building their decks. And our first match of the tournament is going to be Duncan Matson versus Jared Tyndall. Duncan and Jared have been at LANfest since the very beginning, and they've played tons of Magic games, but this is one of the first times they'll actually be playing against each other. Just a bit of background: Duncan, he's been going to LANfest since I think he was, I want to say 6 years old. He's been going for that long. So when I say it's the 23rd annual LANfest, InfernaLAN, he's been going to InfernaLAN specifically since he was a little kid.
That's awesome. That's a super long time to be coming through. It's good to hear. I think I also heard that Duncan's pretty new to Magic as well.
Yeah, so
he's been playing for a couple months.
He started out when he was younger and played a lot when he was a kid, and then he got into He recently got back into it as he, became now that he's got his own money as a doll, he's buying
not adult
cards, and
money
he's
goes
actually
far.
he's in my local play group as well. We play some constructed together.
Awesome.
So
That's super cool.
yeah, and then Jared has been at InfernaLAN for a long time. He actually has moved and gone to a bunch of the other InfernaLANs across the U.S., but he's just recently moved back to Washington, so they haven't actually seen each other in a long time, and this is the first time they're playing Magic against each other. So
that's super cool. So I'm actually gonna cut a little bit here to the gameplay because I see a pretty sweet-looking Planeswalker card that was just cast. Looked like Sorin we had there, right? So I mean, we could talk a little bit about Innistrad Remastered as well. It's a really cool set. This is not a standard legal set, but it is a set that comes out specifically to give us some reprints and pull back some old cards that we haven't seen in a while. We've got some really fun Planeswalkers, some really fun enchantments in here. Some really cool cards that we just haven't seen printed in a good bit. So some good collection pieces, I'd say. But these are not standard legal. So these are not actually going to be played in this typical standard rotation. But these will be sweet cards you can pick up, get your hands on. It's going to help drive some of those card prices down as well. Here we have the Sorin Imperious Bloodlord here, a 3-mana legendary Planeswalker. You can uptick it, and you can target creature that you control gains Death Touch, Lifelink until end of turn. If it is a vampire, put a +1/+1 counter on it. You can uptick it for 1 again for its secondary Planeswalker loyalty skill to do. You may sacrifice a vampire. When you do, Sorin deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life.
Yeah, the really cool thing about this card is basically you play it out. It can hit its ultimate ability immediately since it has less, and you can get those vampires out and start really gaining momentum in the game. Although playing a little bit early, Planeswalkers, you're trying to keep them around for a while because they can be attacked directly by creatures. So Jared's played it, and Duncan already has creatures out, so we are probably going to see that Sorin go down pretty fast. But Jared did just tick it down by 3, so I think Duncan just swung at him. Dealt
it looks
3
like
damage.
that Blood Artist came right at the Sorin there to tick it down. Couldn't take it out, though, so it looks like he will see some value. Duncan's going to get a little bit of value out of that Sorin and possibly be able to keep it alive. Blood Artist is also another good one, a really great piece for an archetype called Aristocrats. So a lot of little tiny dings, little gain and drain. Take your opponent out slow and methodically. So Blood Artist is a really fun card. It's really cool to see that back here in Innistrad Remastered.
Yeah, and with the Blood Artist having the old art frame for the card is really cool.
Yeah, I love the retro art.
One of the great things about the draft format is you are grabbing from new packs, so you have chances to get those rares and those pretty art treatments and all those high value cards in a draft you played a good 15 to $25 for us. So
of course.
We see another creature out by Jared that's going to actually give him some protection for Sorin himself.
Opting to switch to a bigger die there, I think, just so it's easier to keep up with that Planeswalker loyalty.
Yeah, we got a gluttonous guest out there, a low drop creature that is a 1/4, and that'll definitely be able to just hold off that Blood Artist while they are able to take while he's able to extract some value from that Sorin.
Yeah, a really cool thing about Planeswalkers that I like to tell people is Planeswalkers are like extra life. They draw a lot of aggro, so people tend to want to attack them down, and that gives you a chance to save yourself a little bit too. They're both at 20, so 20 life is also still your starting total. I know we were talking about the draft format a bit. Along with that smaller deck, you actually keep the life totals the same. So you still have 20 life, so you want to be attacking your opponent pretty much as possible, let's say.
I used to run a completely Planeswalker deck, and this was right when Planeswalkers, everyone was like, Planeswalkers, they're the greatest, and this was back in high school.
Oh, no.
Everyone thought Planeswalkers were the shit, and so I ran a Planeswalker deck that all I did was throw out Planeswalkers, and while I built my own strategy, all the people would do is they'd target those Planeswalkers over and over again, not realizing that I just threw them out there as fodder to be targeted.
Draw the aggro. People hate Planeswalkers. They hate to see them. Honestly, free value is something you definitely don't want to give your opponent, but there's definitely a good balance of deciding when that Planeswalker is effective and
Ooh.
drawing your ire.
So
Oh, yeah.
he just played Tree of Perdition. Tree of Perdition is
Fun
actually
one.
one of my favorite cards. It is one of the 13 series cards. So essentially, there's a group of cards that all have Triskaidekaphobia or act on the number 13. Tree of Perdition, what you can do is you can exchange your life total with Tree of Perdition's toughness, which is 13, and that comes off with a bunch of cards that, you know, there's one card that just straight up says if you have 13 life, you lose the game, or if you have 13 life, you win the game.
Some really interesting number games and ways to kind of play a stall control to get your opponent to that 13. What's also really cool about that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is a reprint art of the anime art for Tree of Perdition too.
So they
We haven't seen
reprinted
that in a while.
They reprinted that art in Jumpstart in 2020, and then I don't think they've reprinted it since. Maybe it's been around a few times, but I actually pulled one because I pulled the Triskaidekaphobia Jumpstart.
I believe, that's one of the really cool parts about remastered sets. You can get some, even if it's a card you may have, you may be able to get some really cool artwork that you've never seen before, and/or just art that's really old and hard to get your hands on. So that's a really sweet reprint that we've got coming from Duncan there.
Yeah, in this game, in this game for Duncan, it's just going to be a big wall, like a 0-13. You're going to have to get to like turn 6 to grab something in a draft that's going to be able to hit that or defeat it.
Absolutely. I did see it said Defender on there too
as
well. You want to tell me a little bit more about Defender?
Yeah, so Defender, basically your creatures, what they can do is they can either attack or defend. When they attack, they have to tap, and then they can't defend for the next turn. However, Defender means this creature can only defend, so you're not able to attack it. There are ways to get around that with, of course, Magic. You have a bunch of different
Always
spells.
a way.
You can throw in a cards that swap the power and toughness and remove Defender, and those are different strategies you can run. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I think we just ticked up 1 life for Duncan.
Yeah, I think I saw the Blood Artist get blown up with Eat Alive, I believe, or Eaten Alive, which is another cool card that was running around as well. But it looks like they might be running that one back. I believe they probably, if I'm not mistaken, Eat Alive has a sacrifice additive to the cost. So you have to sacrifice, I believe it's a creature or life to also be able to play it. So they probably rolled that back because I didn't see any sacrifices from Jared there. But obviously learning to play, this is a little bit, draft is a little bit more of a casual format. You can play and people can have a lot of fun with draft. So being able to roll back that decision there, or Duncan letting him roll back that decision there is a really cool move. But you can see also that Sorin is still sticking around, probably going to keep getting some value out of it.
I wonder if he's hit all of his triggers for that, so. Oh, yeah, he's picking it up
so
this
he is
turn.
ticking it up.
Quick question. This, so if I get him down to 13, I can just tap this and I exile the rest of his life?
So, no. Exchange target opponent's life.
It looks like they're asking questions about the Tree of
So in other
Perdition.
words, you could set me down to 13, and that one would go up to 19.
That is correct.
Okay. Now that I'm thinking
Yeah,
about it,
looking at a little bit of the rulings on Tree of Perdition there. Weird cards do weird things. So you definitely want to make sure that you always get a judge clarification on stuff like that too, just to make sure that you are playing correctly and doing things in the right timing, because timing is very key for a lot of these pieces that want you to hit that 13.
we already did that.
So he is going to block with the Blood Artist, which is going to kill it. His Gluttonous Guest is going to deal the damage, but when the Blood Artist dies, it is going to give him 1 life, which when they killed it earlier, they still had the 1 life on the field, so they're just leaving it.
Yeah. Keep the numbering correctly.
So Jared has the best board state right now. He has a Decayed Zombie, which it has to attack. And when it attacks, it can't block. And when it attacks, it dies. But
Decays away.
mean, it's too late now, but yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's a
could've
very
done it that way.
aggressive type
I realize now
card.
why it has the two different.
But I would probably say
going to
Jared should probably save it, assuming that the Tree of Perdition is going to stay up, just because of that defender we talked about earlier. It's not going to do too much. Oh wow, we have a Meat Hook Massacre in this pool. Now that is a interesting card. So I mean, just to give you a little bit of the power we're looking at here, this card is actually currently banned in Standard. So that card is not allowed to be played in the current format. And
But it totally can be played in Draft. Like
100%.
Yeah. And it came out in Innistrad?
Yeah, it was. I believe it did. It came out in. I believe it did come out in Innistrad as well. And the power level of that card made it be played in basically any deck that had the color black.
One of the reasons, yeah, one of the reasons it needed to be banned was every single black deck was
Every
running
black
it.
deck.
The price of the card skyrocketed. It's
Absolutely.
a mythic, so I mean.
Yeah, but I
was
believe it's not banned in Commander.
Oh.
So in Commander, it is still legal. It is still a very strong card there. But as some of the viewers may know and may not know, Commander, being one of the more popular formats, has almost twice as many cards as Standard. You have 100 cards in your Commander deck, so it's a lot less likely that it'll be oppressive.
So Meat Hook Massacre, it actually deals damage by putting -1/-1 counters on creatures. However, what Duncan did is he -1/-1 counters on the Tree of Perdition, and then he tapped it to swap life totals with
that's interesting.
Jared. So Jared went down to 11, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
so whenever anything you get
Nothing
dies,
of mine died, so
yeah, and we're gonna see some action like.
Meat Hook Massacre is a powerful card, and it sticks around. It's an enchantment. Enchantments are typically pretty hard to deal with for most decks. I'd say green usually has a couple good ways to remove it, but not very many colors have removal options for Meat Hook, and you know it's not something that's going to be easy to play around in draft.
Especially in draft. No one in draft, because you have so many limited cards. You really don't count on enchantments being the main part of someone's deck. So you're not grabbing cards that are going to remove those enchantments so easily. So they're in draft. Enchantments are busted.
Yeah, they're really hard. They're going to be really difficult to get your hands off of. So I mean, it comes down, and as you guys saw, it's going to deal damage to things and pretty much start removing pieces off the board. But at the same time, it's going to stick around and keep giving life, keep taking life, and yeah, that's the power of Meat Hook Massacre right there. We are getting to see a legend in action right here. It's good to have you back.
Jared's looking through all of his options. He also has a blood token. That blood token right by his library he can crack to draw a card. He's going to cast an Eaten Alive.
Eaten Alive here.
And he's pitching. He's Eaten Alive the Tree of Perdition just to get, because when they swap the life totals, Tree of Perdition actually becomes a 0/17, I think.
Yeah, here we go. Eaten Alive.
Yeah. And he paid the
additional
full
cost to cast this spell. You can sacrifice a creature or pay additional mana. So it becomes a really good 1-mana removal spell. Not at instant speed, but it's still a really good removal. It's one of the very few ways that black can exile things too. That's another good, I guess, bonus point to Eaten Alive. It actually exiles instead of puts in the graveyard. So it's a really good way to keep things out of reanimation range and whatnot as well. Yeah, we're definitely looking at a slower paced draft game.
Yeah, no,
they're going through.
There's no clear winners. Oftentimes with draft, it's each game's a slow. I mean, each game you just slowly start outpacing the other person until boom. After you outpace that one person, you've won. But currently with Tree of Perdition off the field, Jared has the creature out, and Duncan's defenseless. However, Jared's at 11 life. He's already basically halfway done with the game.
Right.
And Duncan's at 23.
Yeah, I think that Sorin sticking around is a very powerful play as well. Not being able to remove that Sorin is giving him free value.
Yeah.
You know, it's just giving him a ton of free value, along with a really good place removal spell. So, I mean, in the draft as well, you really want to make sure you you're chasing cards that will kind of help you win the game. There's definitely a lot of things you can do in draft. You can definitely draft and try and go for the highest dollar pieces, but you can also play for the win and go and pick cards that are pivotal. That Eaten Alive, I think, is a common or an uncommon there. So it's not the most valuable card in the set, but as you can see, it's removing key pieces at pivotal moments within the game, and that's going to keep Jared in a good place to keep gaining value and be able to try and take these games on top.
Yeah, so currently they both are doing well on lands. It looks like Jared's got a hand of 3 and Duncan's got a hand of 4. So Duncan does have some card advantage, but it really matters what cards are actually in that hand right there.
Absolutely.
Jared's gonna play out a card. He's gonna play a Desperate Farmer, a lifelink 2/2. Whenever another creature you control dies, transform this creature. So Desperate Farmer is actually a double-sided card. If you flip it over, it transforms into either a werewolf or a zombie. I think with this one, it transfers into a zombie.
Yeah, those double-sided cards are really cool. I don't remember exactly which set they first started printing those double-sided cards. But we've seen them every now and then here and there. Yeah, and here we've got the Desperate Farmer. You'll see in the top left, there's like a little arrow that kind of indicates that there is another side. And in the bottom right, you can even see the flipped value. So once you do get it flipped, it's a pretty good lifelinker. I mean, 4/3 is not the easiest to remove, and it's going to gain you a lot of life from either attacking or blocking.
Yeah, especially in draft when you only have 20 health.
Yeah.
Getting that life back is going to really cycle. I mean, it's really going to be important.
Absolutely.
4 life is a 1/5 of your health. It's a big play for the game.
Yeah, keywords like lifelink, death touch, they definitely help swing a game. I mean, even if it's a creature that seems very simple, sometimes that's all you need is just a little life gain or just something to
It looks like
keep you on the
Duncan's hungry for lands. He's only got 4 lands out. He's got 2 swamps and 2 mountains, and all of the cards in his hand are white. He's looking for plains. That's why we've not seen any creatures come out from Duncan yet. Is he needs a plains so bad so he can play any of his creatures.
Yeah, this is the plight of Magic players right here. Having the cards but not the mana, right? Your mana sources are very important, and the deck building process for draft really has you making a lot of decisions. You don't have as many slots to fit lands, and your colors have to be kind of on point. I personally, when I draft, don't tend to draft more than 3 colors. Honestly, I mean it's a very, very hard balance on your lands to be able to do that.
Duncan, he had a red kill spell. He was able to get rid of that gluttonous. He was able to get rid of that starving farmer.
Yeah. That's a good play though. He's gonna have to.
He just needs to get the damage down. I mean, he's
gonna have to keep
he's
it down
got 19
sure.
health, but like, if they keep swinging with those 2 creatures, this game could be over quick.
Very quick. Very
Duncan,
very quick.
He just needs a plains. Every single draw Duncan's having, he's going. Plains, please be a plains.
He's hoping for the heart of the cards here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. He can definitely get in there a little bit, and I believe I saw in his hand an ambitious farmland, or farmhand, I believe, which can go search him a plains. He just needs to get one on the board there, and he may be able to get cooking with some gas. But hopefully, it's not going to be too late, as Jared's putting on the pressure. I mean,
he's playing a duelist. It's
heavy creatures.
Haste, and when this creature enters, target creature can't block this turn. So that's a very good tempo piece if you're doing a very attack-heavy deck, which it looks like that's what Jared's doing.
Yeah,
however,
I'd definitely say so.
Right now it's just adding another sword to the fight because Duncan's board is still wide open.
Oh, and that card actually has haste.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a powerful keyword. Typically reserved for red. Very few other colors actually get to utilize haste, but for those who may not know, haste allows you to actually attack the moment the card comes in as well. So, and typically there is something called summoning sickness. So your creatures, they have to wait a turn on the field to be able to attack. So, that kind of helps slow a little bit of the pressure down. But Red is very well known for having haste cards, and haste is a very good way to just sneak damage in unexpectedly.
It looks like Jared actually missed one of his Soren triggers. He
Oh,
could have given
no.
his Vampire Death lifelink and Vigilance.
That's right.
With that
That's
+1.
right.
Oh, it looks like I think they're correcting it. Yeah. So they're actually giving it back to Jared, giving Duncan damage and giving Jared life.
What a play. What
Yeah.
a play. That's sportsmanship right there. I mean, honestly, that's a really rough spot to be, looking at your opponent's life total, giving your opponent the life back in that situation for missing triggers. I mean,
If you were in a competitive game with a real like tournament bounty,
Yeah.
no one would let that fly. You miss your
of course
trigger,
not.
you're
Of course
you're
not.
gone.
There's way too many times I've missed a trigger, and it has cost me a game. But, you know, it's definitely one of those nicer parts of draft format, especially when you draft with your friends and people that you know. You guys can play a little bit more house rule. But yeah, that is a very scary board state to be staring down.
Oh, and that's what happened. Jared just drew another land. Before he only had 1 red mana, so he was still able to play red spells, but he was starving for it. He could only play 1 at a time.
Right.
But he just drew that, and I think Duncan scoops because he's got nothing to.
Yeah, there
yeah,
was
oh.
no. He's checking the top there post game to see if he even had
There's
had a chance. But yeah, that
He
white
might-
mana was just way too far away.
He might
you
want to
know?
go sideboard and throw in some more plans.
Yeah, honestly, I would. I'd probably say so too. I mean, he definitely needed a lot more white in there, and you know, drafting again it's hard. It's hard
Yeah.
to get that balance. You know.
There's a general rule whenever you're building a draft deck. One of the general rules for new players is you count the amount of mana symbols for each color you have in your deck, and then you put a ratio of those cards in. However, if you're ever drafting, and if you've drafted a lot, you know that once you do that ratio, you always want to take the one that's the smallest ratio. You kind of want to favor that because as much as there are the colored pips in the mana cost, there's the uncolored pips. And only having 4 swamps in a 3-colored deck is really difficult when you draw only black cards.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So I always bias towards the smallest. I mean, I get my ratios kind of right, but like if I have 60 and 40, 60 of one color, 40 of another color, I'll actually do more of a I'll adjust my ratio a bit, and I'll actually go to 55 one color and 45 the other color. That way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because basically if I drew one of the other color, it's like I have another color list, and it's more important to have access to your colors than it is to have the optimal
on-field layout. Correct.
The optimal ratios. So I always adjust it a little bit like that.
Yeah, definitely a difficult spot to be, and you know, you deal with what the draft gods give you. You have to play into your strengths, definitely, from the cards that you get. It is definitely one of those pieces that it takes some time. It takes some practice, for sure. And having friends to draft with, going to your local shops, drafting with them, going to draft nights, it's always going to be a really cool way to just get your not only card knowledge up, but just get your deck building skills up.
Yeah, in the draft format, it really makes you make those hard choices. So when you're opening packs, one of the most fun things about it is you're getting cards that are really cool, and you open them and you get the rares in the back, and sometimes you get the really expensive, really cool cards, and they don't match the deck you're building.
You know.
They don't match the colors, and you have to go and take those really cool, really expensive cards, put them aside, pass them to the next person, and you have to take the less expensive cards that you know are going to be
the game winner pieces.
The game winner pieces.
It's that eaten alive. That's those pieces are important.
All those interactions. Yeah.
Your rares and mythics are great, but sometimes those commons and uncommons go quite a ways.
So it looks like in draft, what you do is you have a match, which is you'll play against your opponent, and you do basically do a best of 3.
Yep, best of 3.
Yeah.
Correct.
So they just drew their opening hands. It looks like Duncan he has a decent amount of lands, Whenever you get your opening hand, you're looking for those lands, but I think he's already mulliganed once.
Yeah, he must be on the first mulligan because it looks like he put one back. So
Yeah.
for those who may not know, you do get a mulligan scenario where if you don't like your first hand, you can actually redraw another 7. But for every time you do it, you have to put one of the cards in your hand back on the bottom. So it looks like he did have a mulligan situation there, which puts him at a disadvantage to start. But I will say he did get to go first.
And it looks like in Jared's hand, he actually started with 2 lands, and he started with 2 swamps and a whole bunch of red cards, which is kind of a scary play.
That's a
He's got
scary place to
He's
be.
got 1 black, I think a creature or a spell in there, but he did draw another swamp right off the top, so he's waiting for some red in there, so he can start pumping out his creatures.
So in between games, they did get to sideboard. I don't know exactly what they sideboarded, but it looks like Duncan is actually running really strong with the white mana now.
Yeah.
So this is the ambitious farmhand that I mentioned before. Very good card, very strong card from Innistrad here, where it is a 2 mana 1/1. So not anything super powerful, but it lets you go and search for planes. And if you guys know anything about white here. White is really bad at getting lands.
Yeah.
No, it is.
You're struggling to find
it's a curse.
any mana you can in that deck.
It's a curse. So this is one of the really strong cards from back in Innistrad Standard that lets you go and search for planes. You can reveal it to your opponent to make sure they know that you got a planes, and you shuffle.
Jared just drew a mountain.
Really cool, oh no way!
This is gonna go in his favor really quick. He has a lot of low-cost red spells in there, and having access to red, he's gonna be able to draw. I mean, he's going to be able to start laying down spells.
That's a super powerful move. Wow, what luck there. Yeah, drawing that red now, it gives him access to pretty much his entire hand. And
Duncan's running 3 colors. We're hoping he's drawing lands.
Yeah, the right color lands.
It looks like he's stuck in white though. So hopefully the creatures he has are all white. Hopefully his spells are all white.
100%. So it looks like he's starting off with a creature here as well, and we know red is powerful. There is a wall of text on that guy.
Yeah. Each vampire creature you own that isn't on the battlefield has madness. So
madness! Yeah. What a mechanic! Oh my goodness!
And the madness cost is equal to its mana cost. Basically, if you discard a card, you're able to cast it from discard for its
for its madness cost, and then put it in the graveyard. And it looks like each vampire you control it has madness.
Okay. So basically, you play it, and when it dies, it goes into exile. But then you can play it.
Ooh, Duncan played a mountain. Yeah. He's got his 2 colors, so hopefully he's going to be.
He's got 2 of his 3 colors here online.
Yeah. The other thing about the ambitious farmer?
Ambitious farmhand.
Ambitious farmhand. He's actually one of the other really good things about him is not only is he a low cost small creature that gets you land, he also transforms.
Correct.
Which is actually very powerful because now Duncan can transform into a 3/3 with a lifelink versus a 1/1. So it gives you more options. It's basically like having another card in your hand.
Yeah. Early game gets you a land, and then if it sticks around, you might have a pretty strong lifelinker there.
Looking at Duncan's hand, it looks like he has access to all the colors he needs. He has
honestly
3 white creatures, maybe another land in there. Yeah, he's going to be able to. So it looks like they're pretty even right now.
This is going to be a pretty strong game. We're hoping to see less landlock, but I'm interested to see what's going to come of that madness. There's a lot of really fun ways to utilize that card in a constructed deck. But I'm interested to see how Jared takes that because that's going to be a really powerful way to combo in a draft format if he's able to cheat out some cards for their madness cost.
Yeah, it's all about how much support he has in there because as long as he has cards in there that allow him to discard, he's going to be able to utilize that madness a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
So Neonate's Rust deals 1 damage to target creature.
Oh, wow.
And 1 damage to its controller.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So a little bit of a good
dealt
play
1
here.
damage.
Got a damage off to the face, took the creature out, and was able to refresh that card he used.
Sadly, I don't think he can. I don't think he can transform the ambitious farmhand
Correct.
at instant speed.
No, it's
well,
it's
it
not.
probably would have been good to transform it before that.
Yeah. Yeah, Coven, I believe its transformation requirements is Coven, which Coven is another interesting keyword, which requires them to have more creatures on the field.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They all have to have different powers. So it's an interesting way to play. If he happened to have other creatures of different powers, so let's say a two power and a 3 power creature, he could Coven and use that ability to transform at instant speed with the appropriate mana. But it's a little bit of a setup.
Yeah, it's
so
definitely a way
more
to
late
slow
game.
down those cards.
Yeah, 100%. So having the one creature on board, let's see how Duncan responds. Oh, it looks like he actually got black mana as well, so he has access
he's
to
doing
all
good.
3 colors. So let's see what kind of.
He's playing Slayer the Wicked.
ETBs, you may destroy target vampire, werewolf, or zombie.
So which one?
Wow.
Wow, some
okay.
vampire hate.
Yeah, some serious hatred. That's a really cool card. Awesome.
And it's a 3-2. Looks like Duncan's actually in a very strong position now. Jared still has plenty of options.
Yeah,
but
being able to in a set where there's pretty much mostly vampires, werewolves, and whatnot, it's very strong to have a card that can just single
kill
target
vampires,
destroy it.
werewolves,
Yeah.
and zombies.
Yeah, really good. Keeps a body on field, so he's got something to either attack or block with next turn. So
Yeah.
we're looking at a really strong play from Duncan here.
Right now, they're basically just going hit for hit.
blow for blow, just exchanging threats at this point. And in those kinds of battles, it's really you have to really pace yourself. You have to remember that it's finite resources. This is a resource game, so
they both have plenty of cards in hand, so
yeah, you definitely want to keep a good eye out on what you're destroying and how you're utilizing your cards.
Tap in 2. We're throwing
Going
out
for 4. Oh, what
4.
kind of play is going for?
Ooh, Vampire Duelist again.
Nice.
That's the haste creature that when it enters, it
Nice.
when it
not to
enters, a creature
block
can't
here.
block.
Oh,
Yeah.
a creature can't block. Okay, so he actually didn't even get the option to.
Yeah, and then Jared's gonna swing and pass. Duncan's drawing his card, and ooh, he's last game he was totally mana screwed. He's definitely gonna be able to beat.
well-equipped.
Yeah, he's way more well equipped.
Yeah, looks like there's definitely a lot of options from both players here.
Yeah.
It's going to be there's going to have to be one pivotal card to really turn that swing here. Oh wow.
Lunarch Marshall. Ooh.
Combat, creatures you control gain first strike until end of turn. If a creature you control has first strike, the same is true for flying, death touch, double strike, haste,
See,
lifelink.
You can see the card getting read out there. It's a wall of text, but this is a classic right here. Eldrick was actually one of my favorite cards from way back in the day. This was one of my first ever cards I built when he was actually in Standard. So he's a really old card, but he basically allows the keywords to be transferred to other cards. So it starts with creatures you control.
I
gain
think
first
Duncan's
strike.
misreading the card.
Already had first strike.
So
So at the beginning of combat, so I'm gonna say,
So what Audric Lunarch Marshall does is basically, if your card has a keyword, if any of your cards have a keyword, it gives all the rest of your cards.
All your cards that keyword.
Yeah.
Correct.
Then they get all those other keywords.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So he has flying and lifelink, death touch, all that stuff, double strike. So
I think it.
Oh,
what
actually,
happens is
it
he has
looks like
flying,
that's
we would go to,
that's going to be a misplay
we would go
from
to-
Duncan,
we would go
actually.
to the blockers.
Yeah, he only gets first strike.
Yeah.
The way it reads is it's the same. It's the same as true for all the other keywords. So it gives everything first strike, meaning that first strike is being given out. But all the other cards, the other abilities have to be on it as well.
If you had a card that already had, like if this card had first strike.
Oh, Jared's
then you
challenging
had
it
all
here.
that. If it didn't have
Jared's
first
pulling
strike,
out.
It just gets first
No,
strike.
it gives it first strike, and then so if something has first strike, then it always has it. But because it only, so this won't have any of those things on other turns because it's only during combat. Does that make sense? Do you want to hear? We can
Yeah,
have the
let's-
judge come over.
Yeah, Aldrich is a.
they're
Aldrich's a
calling the
weird
judge
card.
in.
It's the way it's worded is I've definitely seen people play it like that, or misplay it like that. But it is it's a very weird card, very
That's what I was
powerful.
saying at the beginning of each comment. That's the thing. I think it has. If you have something that has
So it would
first
be
strike,
on
then it gets
combat.
all of
Yeah.
that. But if it doesn't have first strike, it just gets first strike. That was the way I
Oh
was-
no! Actually, Jared's explaining it in the way that works
So,
away from his favor.
Each combat, all my creatures gain all those keywords, right?
Correct, that are on your board.
Yes.
Okay, so not just the ones because the way I
So
was reading
it's
it says,
essentially reading all the keywords, so it's noting all of those there for you, but you need to have them on your board already from effect. So like this word being on your board, if he had that on his board, then they would all gain haste at the beginning of combat. Yeah. Or if he had one of his creatures at first strike, they all gain first strike at the beginning of combat.
Oh, okay. So it's not that this one creature.
Yeah, so it was a misread from Duncan and
It's
Jared.
only if he
I think if they had played like Jared wanted,
before.
they would have even been even
That would
worse.
have been
So
really
that's
bad
Yeah.
for him.
is, if this one had first strike, it would.
Everyone would
But-
get it.
But it would gain. Yeah.
That's the hard. That's the hard part about those cards. In Magic the Gathering, reading card explains the card. Sometimes the wall of text is hard to understand.
Yeah, yeah. You really have to piece it together. I mean, and punctuation ends up being a really big key for where it says
right
here
now
too.
there's
Yeah.
When you
Oh,
block off
okay.
sentences.
Now that I'm hearing it that way, that makes sense. So
Yeah,
it's saying that
yeah.
if you had like say haste, this card would give haste to everybody.
Okay.
But because you don't have anything on this one, this card actually I don't think does
No, it doesn't do anything currently.
anything currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you were to play a creature though that has vigilance, first strike, any of these keywords, now whenever combat happens, your entire board gains that keyword.
That makes more sense. Okay.
But right now you have no keywords on any of your cards, so
Okay.
there's no effects.
Yeah, this is a
currently
great this is a great example of a judge situation.
It is
and,
a very powerful card
If
once
you
you start
ever are
getting
playing
the
in
first card that has
competitive
flying,
Yeah.
or
or
even
now your entire
non-competitive,
team
it's
has
always good
flying
to
on
have
combat, right?
a
Okay.
judge
life
or a
force. Okay,
friend
that makes
so many
who
different effects, you
can
just have to get those keywords on
be
the board
your
for the creature already.
mediator and review a
gotcha,
play
gotcha.
because you
Okay,
definitely want to
that's-
make sure you're
that makes
playing
a lot more
cards
sense.
as
Okay.
accurately as
I was like,
possible,
wow,
and
that
we
would be
will always make
seriously OP
mistakes.
for-
It's a really good place to be
Yeah.
for under making sure you're understanding
All right.
all of the cards and
Then I'll
effects
still swing at
to
you
their
for 3
best
damage.
ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you're new to playing, like calling up your friends and asking them questions.
Yeah.
Especially if you're playing with another new player, it helps out a lot. Just recently, I have one of my buddies who he called me 3 times asking about different rulings, and 2 of those times, I think he was very disappointed with the with what I had to say on those rulings.
Yeah, that's always that's the friend circle, right? They just tell you to rule it in their favor, you know. It's 100% a way to play. You know, you can always house rules, but definitely playing the card as intended is the most ideal. But Aldrich's definitely he's a strong player, a strong card. He's going to allow his future board states to continue to grow in power based off of the keywords that he puts down.
The only issue with pulling it out this early in the game is having Jared has access to red. Probably is going to get either lightning bolt, fireball,
yeah,
zap.
that's true. He is within lightning bolt range.
Yeah.
3 toughness on a creature, where it seems pretty strong, is actually a very easy easy thing to kill. There's a lot more cards now in the format, and even old cards that just
3 points of damage.
yeah, there
That
it
deal
is.
3
3
damage?
points of damage.
Ooh.
A lot of things do that 3 points of damage.
This goes into my exile.
So he kind of he probably exposed it there, thinking that he was going to gain a little bit more value out of it, but that misplay is going to cost him a really
Yeah.
strong card.
And even when you're playing friendly, like you're not even thinking about it, you misplay that card, people go, I know he's gonna play, and so they'll
Yeah.
hold on to that fiery fiery temper that Jared played. He would have held on to that longer
Yeah.
if since he knew that card was there.
Yeah.
If Duncan had actually not played it at all and just waited for a bit, he would have been able to later be able to prop it. It looks like we're looking at Duncan's hand. He has another rare card that he's going to be able to play in there, and he's got some lands to support it.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out. We were just in maybe a turn away, and they each had like 6 or 7 cards in hand, and then oh wow, he's gonna do a little reanimating with a black spell. This is a common trope for black. They are very easily they can grab cards out of the graveyard and be able to bring them back. So sometimes just getting rid of a card with 1-to-1 removal is not enough. It's you've got to get rid of it in another way or be prepared for it to come back.
Yeah, and it looks like the judge intervened because Jared misread the card and put it on the battlefield, and instead it actually returns it to his hand.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay. Yeah, which is still a very strong play. I mean, it's still now a card that Duncan has to keep an eye out on it coming back. And I'm sure once you get rid of something, you don't really want to see it again.
Yeah, right now they have I know they both have 3/2s out that are just gonna sit there and start trying to ping each other.
Okay, that's right. I wanted to make sure I had this. And I
Yeah, 100%.
Jared's gonna pass with returning a card to his hand.
Oh, looks like he's gonna swing. Yeah, with Duncan there at 11 life and
Ooh.
Jared at 17. Jared has the upper hand, so if they're gonna trade blow for blow, yeah, it's gonna be really tough.
I think Duncan just drew another mountain. Which isn't going to be really in his favor. He's got enough lands to play all the cards he can draw, and what he really is looking for right now is actually to just get more cards in his hand.
He needs more spells.
More creatures out there. They're both doing an attack-heavy deck. They're both playing attack-heavy decks. He just needs more bodies out there.
Yeah, 100%. I wholesomely agree. This is a classic flood. I feel like we're looking at here. He's getting too many lands, but nothing to play. So let's hope he can get something cooking here.
Casting an Aura and Enchantment.
Oh, creatures can't. It's an Aura. So this is actually a card that he's going to play, cast, and target your opponent's spell with. It's going to effectively neuter his card and not allow it to attack, I believe.
Reveals their hand. You may choose an instant or sorcery card from it that player discards that card.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
So he's also then going to attack the hand. So he's Duncan's really.
So I can do this one too, actually.
Duncan's really going for it here.
I have to discard a card.
Honestly. Yeah, so this is Collective Brutality. This is a super cool rare here. Escalate, discard a card. So pay this cost for each mode chosen beyond the first. So it's a really cool piece there, but he has to be able to discard the card to pay the cost. So if he doesn't have a lot of cards in his hand, it becomes harder to use multiple modes.
So Duncan's using the first mode. It looks like what he should have done is he should have kept that Aura in his hand, and either pitched a card to play the -2 and kill that creature and kill the creature on the battlefield right out, or he should have just kept it and just used the -2.
Yeah. The cool part here is he does get a little bit of an idea. He gets to pick through his hand, get rid of maybe one of his more important spells. But on top of that, he gets the knowledge. He now knows what he's kind of up against and what he needs out of his deck to try and come out here on top.
And looking at that's not good for Duncan because three cards in hand that aren't lands is not good.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
100%.
Jared's just gonna be able to keep presenting threats, and Duncan with only one card in hand left, he's gonna actually have to kind of draw as much as he can to get there.
Rely on that top deck. I mean, and sometimes it gets to that situation. I mean, in that draft, you would love to have a perfect ratio of removal spells to creatures to lands to interaction pieces and draw. But that draw sometimes can be hard, especially with your color combinations. Red, black, and white aren't the most notorious colors for drawing a lot of cards.
Yeah, they're all attack-heavy decks. Very little card draw on them.
Yeah, 100%.
To target creature, activate only a sorcery and only once each turn.
I think that means that. Does that mean that if he can sacrifice a permanent and like attack? No, only I can.
You still own that card. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, so Jared thought he could actually use some of the some of the wording that's on the aura that's on his creature. But one thing about enchantments, if you enchant an opponent's spell, an opponent's creature, an opponent's artifact, or an opponent themselves, that enchantment is still your enchantment. You still control it.
Yeah.
So when it refers to you, that you is you that has played it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh,
so
Jared with a card advantage.
Looks like we're 4 cards in hand from Jared to the 1 in Duncan's hand, and
all of them are good creatures too.
Absolutely, this is gonna be it's kind of a heartbreaker when you do look at hands. Sometimes it's a powerful tool because you can kind of set up for what you know is coming, but it's also it can be really daunting to stare down the barrel of such a uphill mountain you have to climb. To try and take this win out, especially when you're already down a game. In the best 2 out of 3. But
when you have
just to rely on
especially in the draft, you only get like 2, 3. You only get like 3 to 4 rares at most, and we've already seen Duncan play 2 of them.
Right.
The Audric and the
collective bounty.
Yeah, the collective bounty. So The odds are that Duncan draws something that has a lot of heat right off the top of his deck
Right.
is not looking good.
It's going to be hard. He's going to have to really use timing and other effective
I think Jared's
tools.
just going to end up he's just going to end up pacing him out at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard. And that reanimation or that from graveyard to hand spell really did not help.
It's basically just another card draw.
Yeah,
That's one of the uses of
selective
those
card draw.
reanimated spells is you get to draw a card and you have a little bit of choice of what it is.
Falknarth Gorger, yep, it's coming right back out here.
Giving his vampires madness again. I still don't know if he has any discard support in that deck.
I believe that's a faithless looting, if I'm not correct.
A faithless looting? I think that is. I saw it in his hand earlier.
If he sees that, that could really swing the tide. That could just be the end of the game right there, you know, because that spell will allow him to pitch cards and draw.
He's gonna cast his Blood Artist first.
Yeah.
Any creature dies, you lose life, I gain life.
Yep, that Blood Artist is also going to be a very daunting thing to come
with some ping
across.
spells in there.
Because we know that Duncan wants to remove creatures, and those creatures dying are now going to also hurt him.
Yeah,
it's going to be a very hard battle. For
That's
Duncan
at least
here.
3 damage on the field straight to Duncan if he is able to overcome it.
Absolutely,
which would bring him down to 8. Jared did just draw another land, so hopefully Duncan's going to grab something off the top of his deck that can help him at least keep pace.
Yeah, there's the Faithless Looting on screen there for you. It also has Flashback.
Draw
which,
2 cards,
gives it
discard 2
value.
cards.
Yeah, it gives it a lot of value early game and late game for 1 mana, being able to not necessarily go up on cards, but be able to get more selection out of your hand. Paired with that Falkreath, man,
Duncan's waiting for that draw.
It'd be rough. It'd be really rough because you can get value out of those cards.
I think I just heard a dang from Duncan. Oh, and it was a Plains.
No, it's another Plains.
Duncan's just gonna have to be taking some hits next turn. Luckily, Jared doesn't have lethal quite yet. But Jared does have another Jared does have the ability to cast that Faithless Looting again.
Correct. And he's actually going to get land, which honestly in this position gives him the ability to cast more cards. We'll see if he notices that he can play the Faithless Looting again with the Flashback. But honestly, it seems like Jared's just kind of going for the beatdown strategy.
Exile the top card of your library until the end of your turn. You may play that card.
Oh wow.
Ooh. He's going to be able, whenever that creature deals combat damage, he's basically going to get a free card draw.
Right. This is another classic red thing. So where we kind of said that red doesn't have a lot of ways to draw, they utilize a technique where they are able to exile the top cards of their deck and cast them that turn, or possibly even the next turn. But as you know, exiling means they're gone. So if they don't get cast, they don't get played basically for the rest of the game. So they're sort of like temporary cards in your hand, and it's a very strong way to get the value you need to give you that last push.
Duncan just drew a card. What's he gonna get out on the battlefield? Does it help him? Does it not? Right now right now he's like, okay, is this gonna actually win me the game? Is this gonna at least get me? Oh, he played a land.
That might have been a mountain that he had earlier. That might have been his other card.
So I'll block with this one.
He's gonna swing.
When priority passes back to me, I'm gonna tap.
Oh, he did get a spell.
A mountain and 3.
Oh wow, this is a powerful spell.
Yeah,
a lot of mana.
Mountain 3.
Using all his colors here.
Hostile, and I'm going to give him +3/+3, so he's a 6/2, and he's going to gain first strike until end of turn. So I don't know why I did that. I don't need to do that, but
Duncan's gonna use it to take out one of his creatures.
wait, oh, that is a 0, isn't it? I thought you were blocking with that.
No, I blocked with this one.
Can I take that back then? Do you care?
Go for it.
Okay, then I'll just.
Oh, it looks like he's actually going to take that back now. Realizing
Yeah,
which card
the Blood Artist is
he
a
was
0/1.
blocking with.
Oh, that's
Blood Artist would die regardless.
Yeah, Duncan
So-
Duncan drew that card knowing he had to use it, knowing he's going to be able to make use of it, not realizing that Blood Artist isn't the creature he wants to get rid of.
Right, right. Borrowed Hostilities. Yeah, this is a really cool card because you can get a lot of power, and First Strike allows you to be pretty offensive as well as defensive with it being an instant. But that's just not the card I think I would use that on either. Blood Artist is rough, but I mean, hey, Duncan's itching for spells right now.
Yeah.
He's itching for spells to
Jared's
try and
top
come out on
decking.
top here, and his life total's getting lower. He's trying to find a way out of what's going on.
I think I messed up the mana curve.
But like we kind of mentioned earlier, it's a friendly game, so they are allowing some take backsies here and there.
2 black zombies with madness.
But now that he knows he has that card, it's going to be very hard for him to use it as a combat
Oh.
trick later on. Oh,
He
man,
just-
he's making some zombies here too.
He just played Geese's Rising. He's gonna get two black zombies.
yeah.
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 I think that's game next turn unless Duncan can do anything. Even if
gonna be rough.
Duncan's able to kill all the creatures, he's gonna be. Oh wait, no, he's cleared the Blood Artist, so he can actually.
Yeah,
if he's
the Blood
able
Artist
to,
is gone.
White does have one trick up its sleeve that I don't know if there's any of those cards in this set, but White's known for its board wipes.
It is. It is.
So
Oh,
it's
that's
known.
very true.
So that's what he's looking. If he has one of those in his deck,
The game
that
might
could
not
keep it
be
going.
over. Yeah, 100%. So it looks like we also got one of those exile triggers. It was a land. Being that the card says play, not cast, he can actually play that land. So fun fact, you can't cast lands. Lands are
Yeah.
not casting. It is just considered playing. So if a card says you can cast the cards off the top of your library, if you had gotten a land there, you wouldn't have been able to play it. But because it says play, he's able to put that land out. But it looks like that's going to be most of the gas for Jared right now, too. I think he's also in a top deck mode.
Yeah, Jared's got 4 creatures on the battlefield. Duncan's only 2. Duncan's only at 3 life. He
3
needs
life.
to get a third creature out. And if he can't get a third creature out, he's lost right here.
Yeah, I think no matter what, you win next turn. So I will keep my blockers and pass to you.
Ooh, and he passes without a blocker.
Passes with 2 blockers, but he's
passes
he's
without
not,
adding
he's
an
looking, It's
extra.
looking grim of a situation just because he has to block pivotably right here. Oh, and that's a land actually. So he actually only has 4 attackers, I see.
A red
Right?
and 3, and I'm just gonna really overkill that one. I'm gonna block that
Yeah,
one, take
but
the
that's
first
going to be
one.
enough damage with the 2/2s.
Oh,
Wow, what a game!
that's our first game for the set.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool game. I mean, they honestly had some really sweet cards come out to play. We saw a Meat Hook Massacre, which is awesome.
Yeah, if Duncan had that Meat Hook Massacre in this round, that's his board wipe. He could have been able to. That would have turned the tide.
That would have definitely done some devastating damage, and it would have gained him some life back that he really needed.
Yeah,
there.
especially with throwing out those zombies. If he had played it, if he had drawn it that turn, played
he
it.
had plenty of mana for the Meat Hook. So there's a lot of really cool ways to run this format. But Innistrad Remastered, I think, is a really cool set. It's not super big. It's not as big as a normal standard set, but it has a lot of those reprints that are super fun to play with, and a really cool draft set. I'd
Yeah,
say.
one of the difficult parts
Yeah.
about draft is when you're building that deck, not only do you need to build the deck, but you've also got to make sure that your categories of cards, so you need your cards that interact, you need your creatures that can block, you need your mana that can help support them. You've got to remember how much of each of those cards, you got to internalize in your head, because towards the end of the game, when you have a threat, you're like, I don't know if I can deal with that, I don't know. They have all these different, they have all this different board state. You got to be able to go, okay, I know I have a board wipe in here that could be able to eliminate all these creatures.
Right. How can I get to it?
Yeah.
How can I get to it?
And you've got to remember that, which is difficult in a draft format when you're trying
it's
to.
not constructed. It's not your deck.
Especially when you're trying to rush. Yeah.
And seeing it for the first time, this is your first time piloting it. Luckily, in this format, you do have multiple rounds, so hopefully. Duncan going into those next rounds as well, and the opponents that he plays, he has a better understanding of his deck and what tools he can use to really achieve victories and stall the game if he needs to and things like that. So he'll have a lot of power, I think, going forward, and just the knowledge now of his deck. But yeah, draft can be brutal sometimes.
One of the most difficult things about draft is, especially when you're building that deck up, is a lot of people will focus on the colors they're putting in, and they'll try and balance out exactly what they go. Okay, I need this color, I need this color, and I need this color. Focusing color when you do a draft is always the worst way to go.
Oh,
you want to focus what the actual functions are, and then then you want to.
I can see that.
You want to shoe into the colors that naturally support those functions.
Right.
So I usually, whenever I draft, I'll be like, okay, my first card gives me some really cool card draw, or gives me some really cool creature synergy. And I'll start building. I'll start grabbing just things that give me those really cool creatures.
Pieces
really
that go
cool.
right in there.
Yeah, that fit
100%.
those synergies and that play style.
Yeah.
And then about when you get to about at the end of your first pack, you're like, okay, I'm mainly drawing these colors because they support these play styles.
Right.
And then as you get into your second pack, that's when you're like, okay, let's try and commit to this. Let's see if I can start getting this color.
Right.
And then the worst thing, which happens all the time, is by the end of that second pack is when you really got to see if you. I mean, by the middle of that.
Will work for
yeah,
you, right?
by the middle of that third pack, you really got to see if you can stick with those colors, or if you want to shoehorn, or if you have to swap. Because sometimes, if you're drawing,
sometimes you got to swap.
If you're grabbing the color blue, and the person next to you grabbing the color blue, and the person in front of you is grabbing the color blue, you're just not getting blue cards during a draft.
It's hard, and I don't know how many of our competitors for this draft came in with knowledge as well.
Yeah.
You know, going into a set, Wizards of the Coast, they are pretty good about giving out spoilers and things for the set or ahead of time. So if you know you're going to do some drafting at your local shops, definitely check out the cards beforehand, too.
Yeah. Well, that was an amazing match. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys. Come check out LANfest. Come play some Magic and come have fun.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside. Love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside. Love you on the inside. Simply free.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hey.
Thanks for tuning in. We're going to move on to our second match of the
round.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second rounds here. So we've got hopefully some fun, exciting games for you guys. Our players are both a little bit more veteran this time around. So both have been playing since at least like 2017, 2016. Some of them were talking about Theros and things. So some fun older sets. So we have some players that hopefully are gonna show out with some really cool interactions here. So I'm excited to see those two kind of go head to head here at our table.
Awesome.
Looks like they're still getting shuffled up here a little bit. And, oh man, what an interesting way to shuffle.
Yeah, so one of the things we didn't see in the first game because we entered the game halfway through is it's customary that after you shuffle your Magic deck, what you're going to do is you're going to present it to the player in front of you, and they're going to cut it. And we're going to do a quick replay of the last game. To show off a little bit while they draw their first hand and they get those lands out. And we'll get that up in just a second, but it looks like they're looking at their first hand. We have one mulligan already.
One mulligan happening, yeah. Mulligan is never a good way to start your games, guys. And, as that reminder, he's going to have to go down to 6 cards. Luckily, he still gets to draw 7, so you can kind of pick and choose, and hopefully there's enough useful cards in that within 6. But yeah, it looks like we're going to take that replay here. Oh, awesome. Sweet. We're getting some really cool moments here coming from the replays as well. I know our judge interaction was an awesome look at figuring out Aldrich.
Yeah, and especially that win for Jared. A win's always a good win, but a win's a win, but when your opponent's mana screwed that first game, it's kind of like
it's hard.
You usually go back after the game and be like, let's do one more round, just to make
Courtesy
it
round.
make it fair and fun.
Yep. And looks like here we're going to use die to keep up our life, so we're going to use those D20s.
Coming with a giant green D20.
I appreciate it. If there are any D&D players in the house, we love our die. We love our die for sure.
Looks like we have two black decks again.
Black decks. This is going to be fun. Black is such a strong color in draft too.
Yeah.
Black usually has so many good tools.
It's got your removal. It's got the graveyard return is the important
green
part.
Here.
Ooh.
Oh, we're doing a mana dork. Oh, we didn't actually see any mana dorks, I believe, in the last game. But this is gonna give a little bit of ability to ramp here. So they're actually gonna go to, if they have another land for next turn, Devin's gonna be able to go to 4 mana, which is gonna be insane. Insane start.
Looks like we got a black and red versus black and white. Black really holding down the color scheme in this set, because with zombies, werewolves, all that, black kind of murdering things, returning things from the graveyard.
Oh,
yeah.
Remove that mana dork real quickly. Yeah, mana dorks aren't very strong in and of themselves, but they do that ability to ramp in such a limited format like this. Could be really strong. Could be really powerful.
No 3 cards, and you may return a creature.
Oh man, looks like we got some Golgari. Golgari being that black-green color scheme. I don't see a third color.
He milled with a Golgari. He milled another grapple with a pass, which is sad.
Yeah.
But he's gonna be able to draw.
Back.
He's gonna bring it back.
And I believe that mana dork also is a flipper.
Yeah, it
does flip.
It transfers into a 3/3 werewolf. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I used to play with it, run with it in a few of my decks.
Yeah, so we've got Orzhov down bottom from Adrian here. Orzhov being black and white. So those are a really strong color combination as well, and really good at being able to get some damage out there. A few spells for control, a lot of spells for aggro. And he's going to get that mana dork back out.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. And we're going for a skeleton here, I believe.
Skeleton Shaman, I think?
Yeah.
You can pay 2 to return a card to your hand. It's more graveyard zombie return.
Yeah.
We're doing a Golgari graveyard return
This
deck.
is a graveyard
we're doing
deck.
We're doing some dredge.
Some shenanigans are
some
happening.
shenanigans.
You can also tell by the way Adrian is holding on to those cards in the graveyard and kind of situating them out in a way that you can see what's in the graveyard. We can definitely tell that he wants to.
I think Devin's the one playing the Golgari.
Oh, Devin, sorry.
Yeah.
Devin is actually playing Golgari. Yeah, Devin's going to hold on to those cards and really want to know what's in his graveyard at all times for those powerful graveyard effects.
Oh, we got Crusader of Audric. Crusader of Audric's going to actually power and toughness is equal to the amount of creatures or humans you control. Yeah, it just basically
gonna get big.
Yeah, gonna get big.
Gonna get really
Looks like
big.
you're doing white black humans.
Yeah, that's a pretty classic combo right there. Yeah, Crusader of Audric is if you remember from our last game, Audric was our resident troublemaker.
Yeah.
When it comes to rulings. But this is a really cool card you can use to kind of support Audric. Audric obviously wants a lot of different creatures with lots of different keywords. So naturally, having a card that can go along with having all those creatures get bigger as you put more creatures out there is going to be really cool.
Yeah, in the story of Innistrad, you actually have the zombies, the werewolves, your vampires, and they're attacking the plane of Innistrad.
Yep.
They're attacking Innistrad, that's controlled by Sorin, who we saw in actually the very first game.
Yeah, the Planeswalker.
And Sorin is a vampire planeswalker that rules over the humans, and the humans are fighting back against the werewolves, zombies, vampires, and monsters.
Yeah, all the monsters. The bumps of the night.
That's why you'll see a lot of synergy for both humans and a lot of human play synergy, and then a lot of those creatures and monsters and horrors play synergy.
Absolutely. And we did get that. Looks like we did get a flip finally from the game as well.
The mana dork doubles when you flip it. So not only is it a 3/3, but now you're tapping it for 2 4.
Man.
Oh, no.
Using the Blazing Torch, I believe, to remove that mana dork for a second time.
He definitely wants to get rid of that.
Yeah, it's a scary card. It can give a lot of value in places you don't want to see.
Oh, he grapples with the past again.
Oh, man. See, that drafting, having multiple copies is another thing that we didn't really talk too much about. But drafting multiple copies of cards can be really strong for the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
You want to, you definitely don't want to assume that your opponent only has one, but it's really hard to get a grip.
It definitely gives your deck a lot more consistency.
Yeah.
Like it allows
100%.
you to know what's going to be in your deck and rely on the things you're going to play.
Yeah, Grapple with the Past being really strong, and there it is as a common as well. Just a really good synergistic card that's maybe not the most dollar value.
And he throws out another the mana dork again. They're just fighting over this one.
This mana dork. How many resources will it eat?
That poor scorned villager.
Oh man, we've got some really strong plays coming from both sides for sure. Adrian looking really heavy on white. Let's see what we can start cooking up with the planes here. He's used a lot of resources to try and remove that. Oh, he's got another
blazing torch.
Blazing torch as well.
I bet he's killing that mana dork. No?
Yeah, well, he's attaching it for sure.
Sacrifice blazing torch. It deals 2 damage to any target.
Yeah. He has to, so it being a spell that's required to equip to a creature, he has to equip it first before the creature has the ability to sacrifice it. So he can't just play the card and then immediately sacrifice the card with it being equipped to something. So that's a really interesting play. He's got a lot of equipment in this deck.
Ooh. He's giving his creature flying.
Yeah, flying is one of those strong keywords. We didn't get to see much in the last game, but flying is a pretty evasive ability. So you have to either have flying or reach to defend it, and it just kind of swoops down over all the other cards and is able to kind of get good damage in there.
It looks like Devin's gonna have the card advantage per game so far.
Yeah,
Another
one of the-
grapple with the pass. He just played 4 of those.
It just keeps coming. It's the gift that keeps giving. And yeah, even, no matter what, even though that graveyard's actually looking pretty big, it looks like Devin there is still wanting to know every single card that is touching the graveyard for some various effects.
The issue with grapple with the pass is what it does is it actually gets, it lets you mill 3 and gets your land back.
Yeah.
Which is not great when you have such a small deck size and you really want to keep you really want to start drawing spells.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because if you notice, if you look at his graveyard, it is full of a lot of spells. Hopefully he has other cards that can synergize to bring more of his spells back into the game.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at a really strong graveyard. We just need to see some of those reanimation spells and effects. He is able to get a creature or land back, so I mean, we'll see if he picks something pivotal here.
Galvanic Imperator, I think.
Yeah, looks like we're tapping large here, and we're just gonna bring it right out.
Yeah.
I think that's the play too, 100%. It's got to be the play. So I mean, grabbing stuff out of your graveyard, it allows you to get things that kind of help you in the moment.
Yeah, Galvanic Juggernaut. This creature attacks each combat if able. This creature doesn't untap during your untap step, and whenever another creature dies, untap this creature. So it's a really heavy attack card. You want to be swinging in, killing a creature, untapping with it.
Yeah, it gets heavy. 5 damage is not something that someone can take for long, so it becomes a necessary block really, really quickly and lets itself untap.
That makes sense. I was looking for that combo. I like the meld.
So we're talking with the judges a bit.
But I couldn't tell.
This is a commonality too in drafts. It looks like the players are kind of seeing the other pieces that their opponents got and kind of wishing for some other things, wishing they had what the opponent had. So,
oftentimes when you have a veteran drafter, there's certain combos or certain synergies that that the veteran drafters will know is going to be really powerful in each set, and they'll do what's called a hate draft, where they'll make sure they take those key combo pieces out.
Here, look at this. We've actually got a combo card being built out. This is super cool. So these are actually 2 cards that are being put together on their backside, and they are going to build a powerful, powerful piece to the board. Oh my goodness.
Chittering Host. This creature enters the battlefield. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain Menace until end of turn. Yeah.
Menace is a crazy ability.
It's going to give all the creatures +1 and make it so that they have to be blocked by 2 or more creatures.
And in order to be blocked, and it has haste.
Yeah.
I know in the last match, we kind of discussed a little bit about haste and that it's mainly a red effect. But, sometimes haste can just be a powerful thing that you can get if you can hit that top end in other colors.
Yeah.
So being able to haste and menace, there's going to be a lot of aggression coming out here.
He's just pressuring him with those high power creatures. And hopefully he could keep getting more to get the Ordric Crusader higher. And right now we're still kind of at a standstill unless they're looking for spells to be able to just ping, kill, destroy. Both of them have access to black.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting plays happening right here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, has to attack with the Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Crusader really wants more value here to kind of get that power going. Once it hits like 3/3/4/4, it's really going to be a threat to worry about.
Yeah, so this is one of the things. He moves to combat before he plays any spells.
And then I will
that way, whatever he's going to cast after combat won't affect his. Yep, and he saved it. Yeah, saved it to return the zombie back.
Can I just put him in my hand and leave this trigger up because I haven't cast this spell yet?
He's going to return the sanatorium skeleton to his hand.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just put him back into my hand, and then.
Yeah, that mana that he tapped earlier is for the skeleton returning. to the hand. So that's a really cool. That's a really powerful play. You can use the skeleton to block things that don't have trample.
Yeah,
and then bring it right back.
And he was gonna cast it that last turn, but if you notice, he actually held it back. That's because his if no spells are cast, his werewolf will actually transform.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So this is a really cool display of timing. You know, understanding when you want to play cards. But this dual card is just going to keep smacking. It is a powerful piece. And that menace is also just going to be really hard to deal with. Having to block with 2 or more creatures in order to block is just not something that's going to be very easy for Devin here. Devin does not want to give up all the cards. Oh, no.
Oh.
We're going to see another enchantment to kind of pacify this this beast here.
It can't attack. It can't block.
I don't believe it can attack or block. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's kind of be effectively neutered. Yeah, that's a strong tool. And being down on life, is not. You don't want to see a card like that. 100%.
He's gonna draw.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, we've got the boon, which is actually an enchantment aura that's sitting. I don't believe it's attached to anything right now.
He's going to throw a skeleton down just to get some more blockers out. Oh, and he's playing.
I was hoping for a big
throwing some more blockers.
I have all the big mana.
You want to call it, or?
I mean, yeah, I do die. This is flying. I don't have any flying blockers.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
It is attached. It is attached there. So it's actually flying in Menace. That is a powerful. That is a powerful tool. Enchantment auras are interesting though because they have to be attached to something to be on the field, unlike other equipment like the torch we saw earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like Devin's going to just scoop it up there, knowing that there's not really much they can do on the backswing. That powerful combination card here is really cool. This is also something we saw from Innistrad. Innistrad originally had some cards there, and they're the horrors that will kind of combine 2 cards together to make one big, giant threat.
Yeah, I think Adrian actually took the first game.
Adrian did.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Adrian did.
They made more new cards that did melds.
They
Yeah, I mean, they could have done the whole in the Lord of the Rings. Like
they are going to be they were going to be talking and looking at the last game. If you hear their channel, they're just chatting about they're definitely 2 people who enjoy like Magic and looking at the looking at all the different synergies of each set. So we're gonna look at a replay real quick of the previous game. You'll notice this is where he's pulling all of his he's grappling with his past so he can get all those cards back in his graveyard.
Filling that graveyard and trying to get pivotal pieces.
Looking at it, he keeps looking over at it like it's a second hand right over there.
Basically.
Grabbing stuff out.
This is classic Golgari right here. Just put things in your graveyard, and I'll get them back later.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a really strong place. It's hard to interact with the graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really touch it.
For Golgari, putting things in your graveyard is essentially just drawing more cards.
Right.
That's all it really is.
You know, and so exiling is strong. We want those exile effects to maybe hopefully level some of that graveyard. But honestly, it was a really strong play. There's a lot of aggression in this game and a lot of reusing of tools to try and get rid of those key pieces, even though they kept coming back.
2 huge creatures are out there.
Yeah, 100%.
Each swinging for 5, which in a 20 life in a 20 life game that's a fourth of your life right there. 4 turns, you're gone.
You got to start blocking. You have to have creatures. This is going to be a good reason to just, when you're drafting and you're looking at creatures, you want to take some ones that you can play early and take some ones that you can play late.
Yeah.
And I mean, that Chittering Host transformation was a powerful play.
Yeah, especially getting to combine your cards like that.
Yeah.
Putting them side by side, that has been the goal every single time I put one of those combined cards in there. I've never gotten to make a combination.
No.
I throw them in decks now that don't even need them just so I can put those 2 together.
Just so you can have
line them up. They're just pretty.
It's fun. It's fun. It's a fun thing to do. It's cool. This is why these Innistrad sets are super fun because they get to bring back some cool mechanics and they get to bring back some really cool cards that you can just have fun with. You know, you don't get to play them all the time. It's been maybe years since you've touched a combo card like that, and you know, seeing it in draft is always a really cool place to see it.
Yeah. It looks like they've drawn their first hands already. Looking through both of them. We have a 1-land hand from Adrian, I think, and also less land. Ooh, he got 2 lands up there for Devin.
I really want to draw cards.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
here we go. I'm gonna
Adrian opts to go second, just so he. Actually, I think Devin opts to go second, just so he can draw more cards, so he can draw to. Oh, and that's pivotal. He just drew a swamp.
Just do the swamp.
Yep,
there it is.
Exactly what he wanted.
Colors are fixed. Colors are fixed. Yeah, this is typically in Magic, I would say most of the time the player 1 has the advantage. They definitely, it's very strong to go first in Magic, but if you need that draw, if you need to fix that hand, going second may have to be the play.
And it looks like Adrian kept his hand because he was able to sacrifice an artifact right out of the gate just to go search for a swamp.
Yeah, fixing the mana. Fixing the mana is the first step, and making sure you have the colors you need. And we've got some really cool. We've definitely got some really cool swamps in this set because of Innistrad being very black focused. So there's a lot of really fun things.
He comes out again with another Sanatorium Skeleton.
A good start. A really good start. It being a 1/2 is also really nice because it's a little harder to remove than you would think, being 2 toughness there.
And another Scorned Villager.
Returning.
We're seeing the same game as last time.
Oh, man. What a card. What a card. Gorgeous artwork, too.
What do you think the odds of that Scorned Villager getting pinged again?
You know, I really hope they don't sink that many resources into it again this time. It's hard. It's hard when you're playing up against a deck that you know they're going to get their pieces back. So
I think if you spy in Devin's hand right there, he's also got another grapple with the past already.
Oh, no. It's begun.
It's the same game it was last.
Consistency is key here. We want to do what we want to do. We'll see if Devin is able to kind of get the gears rolling a lot quicker. Decks like these are what I'd honestly consider them combo decks. I don't know if you would, but I would consider them combo decks. I think they want their pieces, they want to get that engine rolling, and they want to just snowball from there. But if their setup goes poorly, it can be a rough game. But we have 4 mana basically live from Devin here, so we can see some powerful spells coming out.
Yeah, it looks like Adrian's going to grab a Gluttonous Guest. Basically, when it enters, it's a 1/4, it looks like. That gives you a blood token.
Yeah, blood tokens are also really cool. I mean, it just fits the theme for Innistrad, of course, but I don't think we didn't see a blood token get used in the last game, but blood tokens can really kind of help you sift through your deck and get rid of cards that aren't as needed maybe at the time, and then of course having those cards not at that moment, just discard them, go through your deck, kind of get the things that you do need for that moment. Some matchups just aren't that great for every card you have.
We're seeing a new card actually from Devin up there, a Wild Field Scarecrow. It's a defender for 1/4, so it also has a pay 2, sacrifice this creature and search your library for up to 1 basic land card and then shuffle.
Nice.
Just another mana rock right there.
Yeah, a really sweet mana rock. Being defender again, it can't attack, but it is going to be difficult to get through for people who are trying to attack you. So that's going to be an interesting card to have out, and hopefully also get some more mana. And if you're drawing less mana, hopefully you're drawing more spells.
Oh, it looks like we have another white.
Like a pacification effect going on over there again. Yeah.
Another one. He's gonna play it on the Scorned Villager. I think that just means it won't be able to attack or block, but it can still tap for mana. So it's essentially another land right over there.
It's basically a land. It's effectively a land. Yeah, this will be very, very interesting. Yeah, Bound by Silver Moon, kind of giving that pacifism style effect. Can't attack, block, or transform. Sacrifice another permanent. Attach this aura to target creature. Activate only as a sorcery and only once each turn. So, yeah, definitely a strong piece there. The being unable to transform means it won't get that 2 mana effect, off, which is going to be probably the main reason we're seeing it placed on that card.
It's actually a really good combo with that blood token, because that blood token is kind of a steep cost to draw and discard a card. However, if you sacrifice it for the aura, you can swap that.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, that's
nice
true.
synergy right there. And
We're seeing a grapple with the pass, I believe, right here. Yep.
It looks like he grappled with the pass into a grapple with the pass, I think.
Yeah, I want to say, well, grapple with the pass can't pick up another one, but he might.
Well, no, he played one and it.
Oh, into the graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
Return a land card from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting. That's going to be a very interesting piece.
Man, that's. See, if I didn't know, I would have been drawing lands for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's and see, sometimes situations like that can actually be really helpful. Milling is always a little scary because you never know what you're going to mill off the top of your deck, and you don't really want to see really key pieces hit the graveyard and you unable to get them back. So we actually saw a 2-land mill off the top from I believe that grapple, and that's actually going to be kind of nice because it looks like Devin's got plenty of lands to work with and doesn't really need more.
There's so many tokens that do like almost similar effects.
Yeah, this is going to be less of an explosive start, but we've seen these decks both take off and kind of hit the ground running with these powerful hitters. So right now we're probably seeing a lot of strategy come through as far as planning a couple steps ahead. They're trying to probably plan out their next few turns and remove key threats and pivotal pieces from their opponent as best as they can, just to keep from what happening last game from happening. They definitely don't want to give their opponent any legs here.
Yeah, no, I think I spotted in Devin's hand there was another there was a Killing Wave. It's another good removal spell.
Yeah, Killing Wave we didn't see played last game, I don't believe, of this set, but looks like we got another Blazing Torch coming out. Yeah, Blazing Torch being just a really strong piece for getting cards through, getting damage through, and
He
then
won't be able to get rid of his Scarecrow, but he'll definitely be able to get rid of the farmer he's got out.
yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, more lands hitting the board because there are plenty to go around this time around. Although I believe Adrian hasn't played a land in a turn or two here, so that's a little scary. I mean, knowing that your opponent has basically spells, all spells, it can be a little bit of a challenge. You may not want to play right into all of those spells right away. You may want to kind of sit back and try and gain it as much advantage as you can get to play through whatever your opponent might have.
Looks like there's another bound by Moonsliver in Devin's hand.
With the retro border, too. Gotta love those retro borders.
Sorry, not Devin. Adrian's hand. My
oh,
bad.
yeah.
5, 6, 7 for Emerging Abundant Maw, which will you lose 3 life and I gain 3 life.
Oh, wow. Doing a little draining here.
Fixing those life totals back up.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a pretty good effect. It's a good passive effect. Emerge is they played it with the Emerge here, so you can cast it by sacrificing a creature, and then you can pay its Emerge cost instead of its actual cost. So basically getting it out for 7 mana, getting it out a turn earlier there with a sacrifice. But as we know, that deck cares about having things in the graveyard. It doesn't. It's basically second hand. So that sacrifice being a cost is not as big of a cost.
It's a lot. It's a lot easier to sacrifice your creatures when you know you're going to get them back out.
Yeah. And Devin having sacrificed the Scarecrow probably also tells us that Devin's not interested in more lands. Oh, and it looks like it's going to get moonslivered. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, Moonsilver.
Moonsilver is coming to play this game.
It was... He had that in his hand for a few turns.
Yeah.
He could have played on the farmer at any turn, but any time. But he was waiting. He was waiting for him to do something.
Waiting
big.
for something big, and that's kind of where I feel like the veteran knowledge is going to come into play. Trying to make sure that you're using your key spells, removal pieces on the bigger threats, knowing that you may not need to just rip off every spell in your hand is a really strong place to be for these contenders. They want to wait for those big hitters and things that will end the game.
Sacrificing him.
Yeah.
Paying 1 for It of the Horrid Swarm.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it looks like we got another emerge spell here.
Yeah.
So we're getting some really cool new cards coming out from Devin. So emerge is a really good play here to emerge this card. You can sacrifice that card that was basically useless to get another big hitter out here for cheap.
Yeah, big hitter. He's gonna actually gain 2 insects on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So more bodies as well.
More bodies, more blockers, some more damage. He's
Yep.
actually sitting pretty good with life right now, so.
Yeah, that life total flip from the last card he played, plus now having a decent set of bodies, there's a lot going on Devin's board.
Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token.
Awesome. We got a new enchantment, a new card that hit the board here that's going to give some extra value to creatures dying. So a really good set of plays going on with those 1/1s, because now those 1/1s are super valuable when they hit the graveyard and can save life total.
Well, yeah, I think it only triggers on non-tokens. I think I might have heard him say that.
Oh,
But
is it non-token?
yeah, I think so. But it definitely is definitely going to be good to, if he wants to, he can pitch the Scorned Villager that can attack or flip.
True. That's very true.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go 3 for a Desperate Farmer.
Ooh, a Desperate Farmer.
Yeah, we saw this card before as well. That's a lifelinker. So this one, when another creature you control dies, you can transform this card, and you'll get that 4/3 lifelinker that can help swing the game a little bit there and give you some life back, as well as being a good blocker and attacker. And we haven't seen a ton of interaction pieces from Devin's board, so this may be a card that actually gets to stick around a little bit and keep getting some life going, because there are a decent amount of cards, but most of the cards on Devin's board are pretty low power right now. I see a couple at least 4 1/1s here, one of them being inoperable, and then you've got that 4/4 that's kind of scary.
Yeah. And Adrian, especially having that killing wave.
Yeah.
I think he can easily flip this.
Oh,
this
there it
game.
is. Yeah, there it is. There's the flip. The skeleton goes to the graveyard, and that's going to go ahead and trigger for the flip. So now you've got that lifelink 4/3, and that's going to be a really powerful tool. Yeah, Adrian's got that lifelinker now, and so it's effectively going to be a 1-for-1 trade if Devin decides to swing again with his big emerge creature.
Yeah.
When it enters, if you control another spirit,
Which I do not. Gain 3 life. So it's just a 2/3 flyer.
Nice. Opting an interesting play here from Adrian, opting to just play the spirit card, knowing that he's not going to get the value from the enter the battlefield trigger, but having a 2/3 flyer can be a very strong piece to just kind of help get some damage in and close out the game, because the board is very gummed up here on the bottom.
Yeah, especially with both of them having ways to gain life. They're gonna the game's going to start. This game is going to start going up instead of closer to a finish.
Right. They may be looking for some of those powerful plays from that first round to try and close it out. So we'll see who is able to kind of claw their way into a more advantageous position.
Ooh, we're seeing that same zombie spell we saw previously. I think in the last game.
Yeah.
Getting two zombies out.
Yeah, those zombies. Those zombies are significant. They're scarier than you think. Just being a 2/2, it was able to close out the last game that we saw. So let's see if those zombies are able to do some work here as well.
Oh, he's gonna swing in with a 4/4, knowing that he won't actually block with the Depraved Harvester.
Yeah.
Because if he does, then he loses his life gain, and he's set behind.
Right. And also knowing Devin is a deck that cares about things in the graveyard, there's a good chance that card could come right back around and get cast again, giving more value to Devin. So
he's essentially just threatening that with the Golgari, he's like, kill my creatures, put them in my graveyard.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care.
I could care less. That's my second hand you're looking at. In white, though, I will say white typically has a lot of tools to interact with graveyards, actually.
Yeah.
That's one of the strong suits, too. I know we talked about a few things that White can't do, but one of the things White does a pretty good job of is actually interacting with the graveyard. So there might have been some cool cards drafted that can interact with the graveyard here and let them do some things.
Oh, we just had a Conjurer's Closet played. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. That's going to be a major play. Essentially, at the end of every single turn, he's going to be able to bounce any one of his creatures.
Yeah.
Which is going to trigger all of their entering the battlefield effects again.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is a really strong play. If any spirits hit the board too,
yeah,
and Adrian starts bouncing that spirit, he's going to gain a lot of life really fast, and that could be an easy swing. He's opting to not use the effect here to at least reset. So one of the things that is really cool about blinking is you can actually reset the card's state. It's coming in for the first. It's coming in fresh essentially. So he attacked with that flyer, but if he wanted to keep another blocker up, he should have blinked it. And with that effect, it would have then been able to block.
Yeah, maybe he blinked his Gluttonous Guess. I don't know for sure. I do see a 1 on the battlefield, which might be a marker for his blood token, but
that might be a marker for the blood token. Yeah,
I think they might have played that quickly without us noticing.
I'm surprised they didn't snag up a blood token from the draft.
Yeah.
Usually in your packs, you also get tokens and things as well, and those tokens you can just kind of snag them up from your opponents if they're not wanting it.
Cast another spell, tapping 7 and sacking some tokens.
So I take 7, but then I'm going to gain 4 from hitting your guy. So 3, down to 10.
Yeah, that lifelink is going to...
I think he's playing that Killing Wave.
Yeah, that's probably what it is here. So we got a little value from the lifelink, but in the end, it still ended up going away. But he did kind of neutralize some of the damage there, which is really good because the life totals are definitely swinging more in Devon's favor with every passing turn here. Devon is playing classic Golgari. This is just a lot of value and a steady-paced mid-range type game. Let's see what Adrian can get cooking up here.
I'm going to do 1. Sack this.
Oh, he's sacrificing that blood token.
Yeah.
He's going to discard.
Discard and draw. So kind of trying to looks like he's digging. He's trying to dig for something better, something that will be more impactful to the board.
Oh, he's going to create 2 1/1 humans.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sorcery here. Yeah.
Just grabbing some bodies. Oh, and he's using... Paul's got some minifigures to play with.
Oh, my goodness. You got to be creative in this game and, just spice it up a little bit.
The best thing about Magic the Gathering is you don't have to use the tokens they provide as actual tokens. You can throw out anything you want. So as we see with the D&D giant D&D dice, he's bringing out some D&D minifigs.
That's awesome. That is super fun. This is someone who knows what they're about, And 3D printers are rampant now. I mean, honestly, you can 3D print up a little figure or a model and have that as your token instead. If you're willing to carry it around, it's super fun. It's a great way to spice up the table.
Yeah, that might. He either was playing D&D or maybe he just has those in his collection that he can whip out whenever he plays a human human deck. Oh, look at those!
Those
yeah,
are gonna be super
those look
cool.
like they're hand painted too.
I know. Some might say we have a bit of a blood artiste on our hands here.
Pitching the blood artist, getting another blood token out there.
Yeah. That blood token may come in handy here. He may actually be able to use those to draw into something a little bit more powerful and keep Devon at bay here because it's honestly going to be a lot of stalling to get to those meaty spells. Hopefully before that 10 life expires.
Yeah. hopefully he can get another one of his lifelink creatures out just to start evening, just to bring him back up.
Yeah, 100%.
Right now with the way Devin's board is set up, it's just
It's
he's got
impressive.
yeah, it's there's not much you can do with that 4/4.
Yeah, Devin's definitely thinking about some of these swings.
Looks like he's
4/4 and then 1/1.
maybe.
So we're thinking about blocks here.
Yeah, signing some blocks.
Oh, we're going for a multi-block. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's also a fun and interesting thing as well. You can block with multiple creatures if they're able, versus one, and then the person attacking gets to assign their damage numbers to the defending creatures. So that is a really interesting piece and mechanic, I feel like, for this game.
Yeah.
Something like
He definitely used it to remove the big 4/4 threat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he's left with the Gluttonous Guest, which is 1/4.
Yep.
Which is gonna give him some stability and make sure he stops getting hit.
Yeah, 100%. A good defender, even if it can't kill the thing that it's defending against, just being able to soak up some damage is a really strong piece here.
The important thing, that's gonna actually give him time to keep using those blood
tokens.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he
can
can
take those
dig
blood
through his
tokens
deck.
and dig for those pivotal pieces. We haven't seen the monstrosities come out this game quite yet from Adrian, so you can best be assured. Oh, Killing Wave's coming through.
Unless they pay 5 life.
Oh, no.
He was holding on to it, ready to.
Killing Wave is going to be so strong here. Yeah, for each creature, its a controller sacrifices it unless they pay X life. So he threw X as 5. So he paid 6 mana for this spell.
You could
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's very possible.
That's an insane amount.
He could protect his creature. He could protect one of them, or he could protect. He could protect one of them, but he couldn't protect both because
Yeah.
if he protects both, he pays 10 life.
Yeah, that's a good way to control the board and really put your opponent in a bind here. And he actually opted to keep 1, so he took 5.
He took 5 just so he could keep those blood tokens coming.
Yeah.
No, just drawing because it's a clue. It's not a blow.
Yeah, it looks like on his enchantment he's been using his clue tokens to investigate.
Oh, yeah.
Every time a creature dies, he gets
For those who don't know, a clue token, it's 2 mana. It's an artifact. Once you pay 2 mana and tap the clue. Once you tap and sacrifice the clue, and then you get to draw a card.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to just kind of get that as a straight net value, but he's also getting extra value because of that enchantment on popping those clues.
They're just using their tokens out here to just try and to dig through their decks for the cards.
Dig, 100%. They want to sift through and get to those big plays. They're both running low on fuel. The board was just effectively wiped.
Yeah.
And it's going to be it's going to be tough for Devin to push to that finish line with Adrian still throwing out threats.
Yeah, especially the fact that he was able to block with that first one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was able to keep that first creature, and he gets to play right off of it. Now he has
going on the offensive a little bit. Yeah, so Adrian's probably feeling a little bit more confident in his board state and the ability to kind of keep doing that blink. So actually, Adrian, just did what I said earlier, and he attacked and then brought back his card to get value from a blood token and get value from an attack and still have a defender. So he's really trying to poise up here. And then he's got that Guardian of Pilgrims as well. So it also has an enter the battlefield effect, which is going to be really, really good to keep blinking as well.
Yeah, he was able to give the Gluttonous Guest extra damage for when he was able to swing in. Oh, and 2 Sanatorium skeletons.
The ground got busy here. Oh my goodness. Just like skeletons just constantly coming through. Yeah, this card is just a menace. 1/2. It's a lot of toughness to get through, and with that combo blocking, he could potentially take out some really key pieces. So now attacking it gets a little scarier for Adrian. Let's see what Adrian chooses to do. With 5 life, it is not a lot of life. There is just about anything that Devin can do to chip away at his life total. You best believe Devin's going to try and do it. It's so close to being able to close out this game and go to a game 3 for Devin.
Adrian's just looking for a flyer that he can use to ping damage
Yeah.
over the top.
Yeah.
You got 2 1-1s and 2.
I have, 2 1-1s, 2 1-2s.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought going into how aggressive and how non-aggressive you want to be. Golgari, green and black, typically does not have a lot of threats in the air, so it's not something. It's really kind of hard. Oh, this is interesting play. Adrian's actually opting to attack.
He's swinging all in, which is going to be difficult. Let's see what he plays afterwards.
Yeah.
Sack this thing. Discard blazing torch.
Okay, using that blood token to kind of dig some more.
And I will pay 1 for one of those same that you guys got.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Skeleton. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
a good defender there. And the Skeleton being able to utilize some of the mana that they have open later to return it.
He's going to bounce his Gluttonous Guest to get another blood token and another blocker out.
Yeah. So in this case, Adrian only has 2 blockers, and Devin has, 4 attackers here. So, I mean, there's a lot of damage. They're not high on their power individually, but a lot of damage can still come through if Devin is going to be desperate here about it. But, bringing that life total down closer and closer to 0 is the name of the game for sure. Let's see how much gas Devin has here to try and bring us closer to closing out this game for him.
It's so rude. It's just rude. It's so rude.
For total damage on the field, I think Devin actually he just wins if he keeps swinging in with this maybe. All he's got to do is hit 3 times with 2 creatures because he's got 2 1-1s and 2 1-2s.
I don't think you can if you want to.
If I get at least the last one?
Yeah.
Oh no,
He
he might have to keep.
I don't know if it'll matter.
Because if he swings with those 1-1s,
it is what it is.
essentially, Adrian's gonna be
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
trying to take out as many as he can.
So this guy dies. I get a clue token. This is an additional cost for everything. Decimator of the provinces.
Oh, wow. Here's the powerful spells.
That'll give everything else +3, +2/+2 trample.
This is gonna be a powerful
That's
piece.
gonna be game right there. I think we're gonna see a handshake. Yeah.
Damage, trample.
Yeah. Being able to boost them up, that is a really good time to play that pivotal spell.
And I could have casted him.
Oh wow. What a good emerge. He's able to sacrifice one of those skeletons, so he lost some power, but giving everything +2/+2 and trample is a good way to end the game.
Now we're 1-1 for the match.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, one of these got beat.
They've got to go to game 3. They'll get some time to sideboard here, but what an interesting game. Such a different piece. Such a different piece from there. Yeah, that first game was really explosive. We saw a lot of combat from both sides, but the second game here was way more methodical.
Yeah, they came out swinging with 2-5-5s in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Battle of the Giants. And now we just had digging through your libraries to find those card synergies, to pull out whatever they could to find something to overwhelm the other.
It was a good game. I mean, methodical games like that, they do happen in drafts, and this is kind of also a really fun piece of the draft, right? You can have games where things just swing explosively, and then you can have games where you have to really think about where your pieces are going. And, I mean, you definitely got to see some of the power of deck building there. They tried to dig. Both of them were digging.
Yeah.
And they built their decks to be able to dig in those situations to try and get to some of those key pieces and get to those game enders. Devin just really had a crazy second game with all those emerge spells. All those emerge spells were really, really good.
I think he just was able to hit his key pieces first.
Yeah.
At that point, it was the luck of the draw.
Yeah, top deck is king. And having those emerge pieces and really good sacrifice fodder. Devin had a good loop going.
Yeah.
And even though the creatures were low power here, they were still really powerful for the game overall. They allowed to block. Some of them got in for some clean attacks. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool pieces here. So this is them getting through that pack-up phase and just kind of thinking about how they're going to take this to game 3.
Yeah, a lot of these players these two players are very evenly matched.
Yeah.
You notice they're not making too many wild gambles. They're
Yeah.
making very strategic, holding on to those
Yeah.
combo pieces, keeping that killing wave for multiple
turns.
Yeah, so he maximizes
Yeah.
effect while still being able to deal with all the threats on the board.
I know. There was a
Yeah.
good moment there where, we saw Adrian kind of come out of that killing wave and just we were like, maybe, maybe he's got a way to swing back here. But, Devin was able to just kind of keep the momentum going even after that pseudo board wipe there. Use some emerge spells, filling the board with those skeletons. That really swung the tide in having bodies on the field.
Yeah, and just keeping that advantage. He had the higher life.
Yeah. Higher life total. Yeah.
Higher life total after the killing wave, building his board state, getting those creatures. Even though it's very tempting in the beginning, once your opponent has creatures up and you don't have any, it's very easy to panic and be like, "Oh crap, what do I do?" But he was able to take the hits, focus on building his creatures out, and then now once he built his board state up, there was nothing that Adrian could do.
Right, and I bet you Devin has a good grasp on what cards are in his deck.
Yeah.
I bet you he was looking for that key spell to get the boost he needed to push that through.
When your deck's consistent enough to have 4 grapple of the past, then you're building around a specific
And I mean, talking about player level for these guys as well. I mean, you noticed a lot of people had a lot of them had to play in the second round. They played in the second main phase a lot more.
Yeah, let's go look back. Do a quick replay on what we saw in that game. So this is a replay of the draft going through game 1 where we had Jared and Duncan, some good friends playing at the starting out the game.
Playing their heart out.
Playing their heart out. Long time
out.
LANfest attendees. And then going into some more veteran players who've been very much into the draft for a long time. Know what they're know very specifically what kind of things they want to build.
Yeah, we had some awesome plays from both sides. Some really explosive stuff in the beginning. We saw Odric's loyal supporter trying to duke it out there, and an awesome card being built, which we only dream of being able to do in our games.
Combine those cards, bringing out his custom human tokens.
Oh, that was a great one. That was a great piece. That was awesome. Yeah, I don't want those human cards. I got my own tokens.
That was the funny thing is Judge even pulled out one of the tokens for him.
Yeah.
And he said, "No, thank
mine.
you. I've got it.
I got mine. Yeah.
I came prepared."
It's 100%. So this is going to be a really, really good piece here. And, I think going into the next games, these folks have learned a lot. They've done a lot. These are some really awesome things to see from Innistrad, honestly. I'm just super excited to see all these cards coming back.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Check out LANfest. Come play video games with us. Come help support charity. And we're down in Centralia at the Northwest Sports Hub, playing video games for 3 days straight. So have fun and come check us out.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
to you. Yeah. Say it out loud, spill the truth. Tell me how I'm gonna get close to you. Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me you're lost, feel so blue. Leaving me on the spot so confused. Oh baby, tasting so sweet, acting so rude. Won't you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Dance on the beat. I don't want no excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream. Keep on dreaming about us, babe. Yeah. Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside.
Wanna be the person that you call up when you're down. Wanna be the first who knows all of your deepest secrets. Can I be the one who wakes you up before you miss your ride? 'Cause I wanna be close to you, and I wanna show you something new. You gotta know, every day I got your back, yeah, you can count on me for that. So put your hand in mine, I will be there every day.
All right, welcome back to InfernaLAN, where I'm starting over because I was not brought on audio. Thanks, Lehigh. We love you. You just heard me the whole time. We're back in InfernaLAN, Centralia, Washington.
Yep.
Rocket League, where we just came from Magic the Gathering. We had Lehigh and Nick up here. Don't know why I forgot his name. Good friend of mine. And we're going to go into the final match, round robin, into single LAN. It's going to be a, did they say best of 3 or best of 5?
Best of 5.
Best of 5. And we're going to be rocking and rolling with that. Stephanie, have you ever seen Rocket League before?
No, I've never played Rocket League before. The most that I have seen it is doing tournaments for other people, doing the tech. So, know nothing about the game, but you know what? That's okay. It's soccer with cars.
Soccer with cars.
Soccer with cars.
Or if you're from my part of the world, it's football with cars.
Football with cars.
I already forgot the team names that they gave us. I think it was Los Perros, and Eddie over is going to beat me for mispronouncing that. And something, oh man, I'm doing great. They pulled away my admin as I was asking questions because we're super organized and having a great time. Oh, we even got cameras set up.
Got some good cameras set up in the LAN.
Oh, it looks like we're just watching some people play because one team is in the bathroom So you guys get to deal with us until people finish peeing.
What is your background in Rocket League, Chris?
So I'm always behind the camera. Last time LANFest let me cast Rocket League, I went on a 30-minute tirade and ignored the game about working a show where a guy named Maki Doodah fell off my stage and hurt his face.
Well, no stage today, so hopefully we will not have a repeat of a medical disaster while playing Rocket League.
He only got a concussion and some stitches. It was fine.
Oh, yeah. No big deal. No big
It
deal.
was on his moneymaker. He was the eyebrow guy, but whatever. There is a lot of terms in Rocket League that I've heard people say that I will use incorrectly throughout time.
And I'll support you.
I appreciate that. Rocket League is one of those games that it's very simple in the sense of hit ball with car, but when actually interacting with the players, the skill ceiling is very difficult. I haven't done anything. Oh, they're getting me team names. You hear that, guys? That's so great. You actually can't hear it because it's production talking in my ear. And, oh, there we go.
Oh, beautiful.
Zoom in 4K. I know it was 4K.
Los Perros and Zoom in 4K.
Somebody knows how to pronounce things. It's not me.
I took Spanish in high school.
I shouldn't admit on stream how I got through Spanish. All right, looks like they are on the create match screen, or join match screen. This is just a private match, so hopefully they'll be joining that match. He's got his Spotify going. He's got to get his tunes. I know Eddie is over in our observer chair, have already created a match, so we're just waiting. We're going to be hopefully going into a wonderful match here soon enough. He's adjusting his headphones. We are very much vamping for time because...
Well, so something I do know about Rocket League, I've heard that because a lot of video games, most people say mouse and keyboard, mouse and keyboard, mouse and keyboard is the best. But Rocket League, I've heard that actually a lot of people prefer to use controller. It's just easier to control the car.
So it definitely so. Having done a couple of the Pro Series with CJ back in the day, there was like the Aero Kings was like the only team in the one main thing we did in Sweden one time that was keyboard and mouse. Because it comes down to, I think, well, keyboard and mouse have the far more accuracy, and I'm a keyboard and mouse player for most games. I play Rocket League with a controller. I'm bad at it both ways, but I'm way worse with a keyboard and mouse. Because when you come to your racing games, you're going to be a little bit more of a smooth movement with that thumbstick. Because your mouse is going to give you a lot more accuracy for a first-person shooter. It's going to be a trade-off. A lot of people, that smooth movement is going to give you these nicer turning. So if you're doing any driving or anything like that, your controller is going to be your better option for most people. But some people, like the Aero Kings, I spoke to them, and granted, they're probably retired and have regular jobs and regular things because that was 2017. Oh, look, we can see our production team. They are working hard here.
Keeping us on air.
Yep. Anyway, they I think just had only learned on keyboard and mouse. They never had a controller, so it got to the point where controllers came into play. They're like, we're not learning a new thing.
When I was at a show once, I saw someone playing Rocket League, and I saw them playing on a fighting games pad.
It has happened. That person was most certainly insane, but, it's one of those things. It comes down to the two main games that people play overwhelmingly. Well, I guess sports games a little bit as well. With controller is going to be your fighting games and your car-based games, your racing, your Rocket Leagues, that sort of thing, because of that button mash or the smooth movement. A fight stick feels like it'd be really awful to play with.
They were really good.
Well, because
they must come from fighting games background, and they're like, this is what I'm comfortable with, and so therefore this is what I'm going to go with.
Well, it's just your normal fighting sticks don't need the smooth movement. It's more up, down, you're more on the akin to almost a D-pad. If anyone, well, is there still D-pads on controllers? I don't know. I haven't used a controller in a long time, but if they still have D-pads, I think they do. That's where those movements and those combos in fighting games matter. So you wouldn't. I guess it would work.
It worked well for them.
I've never seen a pro player on a Rocket League event have a fighting stick. I have seen a couple guys with keyboard and mouse, but I have seen a guy who we had to literally pick up his PC and follow him with it because he was playing in 4:3 resolution and had so many weird custom settings I was like, I can't even tell it's Rocket League. You have the screen resolution set so weird. That's why a lot of the pro scene, we didn't for that show for some reason, but most of the pro scene will have, you have a little SSD, and it's just, they create an install of Windows on it with the game and everything, and then the players just get for the weekend the SSD. So it's just a little slot, you plug it in the front, you boot to it, you set your settings, and when you're moving from PC to PC, you're basically taking all of your settings and everything the way you've set it up, because these guys are complicated. They have so many preferences, but like a pro athlete, right, would, and these guys are pro esports athletes.
Yeah.
It's complicated. That's why, like, in occasion before, when we don't have PCs like that, with some of the players that have the most complicated setup, you're literally just unplugging the PC and just carrying it with them, which is way, way worse. Definitely, most of my background in this is behind the scenes. So, I'm no actual caster by any means.
Yeah, I've supported the network for Rocket League stuff, mostly college tournaments. I've swapped out monitors for Rocket League tournaments. I've opened the game for other people to play.
I'm pretty sure I saw you playing the tutorial once when we had got all new accounts.
Yes, I did do that. I played the tutorial a couple of times.
If Psyonix ever watches anything I ever do, and I've been complaining about this ever since they enabled it, can you put a button press to skip the tutorial? Because I get it, you want new players, but like a hidden button press that you just tell us who on the back end, who have 200 new accounts, that we now need to go through the bloody tutorial every once in a while. I hate your tutorial. All right, and we're going to talk about why we're here, what's going on. LANFest is a nonprofit that is across the country, which is super cool. We have, wow, I was on the board for LANFest, and I have forgotten how many chapters we have now. They keep bringing on new ones. It was 20 a few years ago, but it is a lot. Everywhere from up here in Olympia, Washington.
Down to Austin, Texas.
Well, it's Centralia, Washington, I think is where we're at. Austin, Texas, although they need a venue. If you know anybody in Austin who would give someone a place that has power and internet, please help us. We need a venue.
Dallas is a big chapter.
Dallas is a massive chapter. Chicago's got some stuff going on. We've got our buddies over in, it's not Pennsylvania. Where is RGB land? Anyway, but there's a whole bunch of chapters across the country who are building communities in their local areas to raise money for additional charities. So I know Dallas is really famous about the fact that a number of their members have gone through some harder times in their life and have really taken advantage of the food bank. And now that they're doing well, they've got over that hardship. They usually take a full truckload of food to the food bank each show. And these people donate that. And they're coming by, they're raising cash because any money they make on top of the cost of doing the event goes to the charity as well. They're building a massive, fun community that is bringing people together. Because video games are awesome, but they're kind of isolating, right? Like, yes, you're on the mic, you're on Discord, you're having a great time chatting to these people, but there is something to be said about sitting across the room and throwing I still have my little Rocket League ball, throwing it at your friend's head because they did something awful in a video game to you.
You know what? It's all about building bridges too, making sure that people who are older and people who are younger come together. Because sometimes if you're playing games, you can be stuck with the same group of people, and LANs are a thing that we're trying to get young people to kind of come back into. And so LANFest is really, really good with working with high schools, getting them in both the esports scene and learning skills for production, bettering them so that way they have, a job after high school, something that they are excited about. And
well, if you look at the thing, although you can see the little newest member of LANFest right there, one of the two twins. And that's a big part of it, right? Like, where else in the world can you be in the same room playing, I don't know, Team Fortress 2, where a 12-year-old kid is just absolutely wrecking a 60-year-old?
And they're having a great time.
They're having a great time.
They're having a great time.
And I think that's important. Is like video games is a great equalizer in the sense, yeah, kids are better at video games, but it's the sort of thing, it's about fun, right? Like, I know we've, at a lot of these events, they, as on top of like the competitive side, they just have fun things. Someone sets up a Factorio server, a Satisfactory server, a Minecraft server, all of those sort of things, and they play together for a weekend. Shout out to BAR. Gary's been one of our... what is Gary's title? He is the head of sponsorship, I guess? He goes, if you're a company, hit up Gary Briggs, sponsor LANFest, help build those communities. He wants to come and play more video games. And that's the cool thing. Like, we're here in Centralia.
Yep.
I think the actual chapter's official is Olympia, but don't quote me. We also have one out of Seattle, which is Emerald City. So these are two big communities that are coming together. I think InfernaLAN here does do 2 events a year. And it's helping people get out of the house, play video games with their friends that they might not see, and also make a whole bunch new ones. Because that's the other cool thing. It's like you have your 5 friends that you play video games with, but wouldn't it be cool if you could have 20 friends to play video games with? Because everyone has jobs, right? And you might have a free weekend that, or a free evening that doesn't match up with your standard group of mates who play video games. This is the sort of place where you're sitting next to your mate and then 2 seats down is a complete stranger, but they're your friend by the end of the weekend because you're playing video games, and it doesn't matter age, background, whatever. It matters that you're having a good time in whatever. I saw people playing Deep Rock Galactic. We're about to do Rocket League.
I saw somebody walking around earlier asking if anybody wanted to play Halo with them, and I don't think those people knew each other at all. But they, you know what? They have a common ground.
I think we might go into match, maybe. It looks like maybe. I don't know. We're looking at someone's screen playing a match. Bit hard to... oh, here we go.
There we
There's
go. All right. Now we're in game.
All right. So we've got our 2 teams. We've got Los Perros on blue, Zoom in 4K on orange. So part of the best of 5 is it is a little bit more forgiving than the early stages of best of 3. Because these matches are... oh, and there's...
in-game audio. There we go.
These games go for 5 minutes, and then you have if you're either tied or no score, which... it does have overtime, but then most of the time it's like you only are going to be able to like have a very short window for a match. Rocket League matches are not long, and they're
there we go. Los Perros scored.
So definitely you've got some guys using their boost, getting some aerials going on, corner shot in. I love the Rocket League kind of add-ons that they've kind of add the custom goals and stuff like that. All right, we've got a kickoff, bouncing on through. So the big thing when you're looking at this,
that was so close,
is like kind of figuring out who's kind of dominating the field. Where is the ball staying? You know, is it something that a team's kind of forced on defense? That sort of thing. We've got
Los Perros. Los Perros seems to be really, really kicking it off. They seem to be really dominating at the current moment. Oh, but it seems like Zoom in 4K is stolen.
Oh, all right. So,
all right. Los Perros coming again.
So a big part of this is you also see Los Perros is really using their boost really well. Like boost control is really important. You've got, for those who don't play Rocket League, you can see those little gold balls there, and also the small little hovers on the ground there. I guess you're getting your boost from them. And basically, if you can deny your opponent's boost, they're not going to be able to get out in the air, and they're not going to be able to block you when you're doing your flips. And there's all actual technical terms for all of this. I don't know any of them.
Oh man,
that was just open.
Zoom in 4K is going to have to pick it up a little bit.
We did see it was off screen on the corner though. Los Perros did get a demo. Oh, you did kind of see it at the end of that replay there.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is if you are boosting, you can actually take out the player for a couple seconds, which can open up being a player down. It's not a long amount to respawn.
But you know what? Every second counts. When you only got 5 minutes, every second counts.
Well, plus if you have a 2-second window, that is when you can get the ball in that goal. What I do like is I am seeing a lot of aerial play. Me, I do not know how to do any of those things. But that's a big part of that.
Zoom in 4K, zoom in. Oh, there we go. Zoom in 4K. Picking up some slack.
So what I've noticed is like one of the players on Zoom in 4K is named Zoomin. So maybe they are our team captain.
Maybe.
They're definitely first goal for their team, showing off. All right. The successful kickoff, but a good return there. I'm definitely feeling that Los Perros does have kind of more ball control than Zoom in 4K at this point, but
Yeah, they seem to work really, really well together. Zoom in 4K is going to need to pick it up. Oh, well, they picked it up. All right. Looks like Zoom in 4K is kind of picking up their teamwork here.
all right. So definitely a username here that kind of feel like TTV Munster 360. I feels like the old Xbox names where you had to put numbers on the end because everyone had your name. But let's see how it goes. All right, come on now. We got to have at least it is the best.
Oh man.
Because the one request I have, and I know this is cast a curse, but with the finals, this is our last Rocket League match of the day. This is the only thing that we're going to see on stream today. I'd at least like for one of the best of fives to go to overtime. Because I feel like overtime is like ramping that up, and now you're really stressed. But I think this first match, unless we see a huge backward sweep from Zoom in 4K, because being down by 2 is a tough thing to get back from.
Yeah, and we are almost 3 minutes in. We are over halfway through.
All right, so they're all just, I guess they're all low on boost because there were no demos there. That would be a good opportunity for a demo to get some people off there, otherwise you get clumps.
Oh, man.
Definitely coming off the ceiling, flying through the air is a really good way to kind of add that verticality, and I think that's why Rocket League does have
such a good save by Zoom in the goal.
Yeah. Such a high skill ceiling there. Oh, good demo. Are they going to capitalize on it?
Oh, so close.
But they did.
All right.
See, you capitalize on it. You get a demo. You capitalize on it. All right. So, Grand Champ. So if you notice when the names comes up, it'll actually show you what rank they are, which is kind of going to be hard for us to figure out since we didn't realize that didn't get this information ahead of time. But it'd be good to really see the kind of spread there, and we will see that at the scoreboard after the first round. So it'd be good to see like, are they evenly matched? Because I know we did have a round robin coming in, but it's going to be interesting to see. Are we looking at ringers? What are we doing here?
TV 4K is going to really need to step it up in this last minute.
Come on now. You got to get your aerial game going, get your long... Nah.
No!
So the other cool thing for those who don't play Rocket League, and I know if you play this a lot, if we hit 0, the game does not go into overtime or end until the ball hits the ground. So there are some ways to get around this, but a 6-2 is really hard to come back from a minute. You're basically going to have to start winning kickoffs and immediately into goals.
But that's okay. You know what? This is a best of 5, so even if Los Perros, sweeps this one, Zoom in 4K still has a good chance of picking it back up in the next rounds.
Yeah, that's the benefit of best of 5. It's just not that punishing.
I prefer it that way, honestly, because sometimes a game it might be just off for you, and once the game starts off bad, you get in your own head. But if you get a good reset. See, they're picking up speed. See, so maybe next round they might switch it around. Zoom in 4K might be ahead.
A lovely close game would be a nice way to finish up our finals here. Come on, I gotta see some good kickoff play here.
Oh.
Because that's the trick, right? Is like either you're gonna commit to the kickoff or block their kicking off, and I think that's gonna be if Zoom in 4K has a chance, which they really don't, unfortunately. I love you guys, sorry, but it's 10 seconds. So the big thing is you got to be a little bit more control on your kickoff and get a little bit more of that aerial. And I think demos are a thing that both teams. All right. Okay. So.
All right. right.
Oh, we're back.
Hello. All right. Los Perros won the first round, but you know what? I think that Zoom in 4K was starting to pick it up at the end. I think they got a good shot for round 2.
Yeah, like it was definitely, it felt one-sided for a bit, but they started pulling it back. They got a couple goals in. I think it's also like, yes, they might have played already. They should have because it was round robin. But, you know, you've got to still get in the groove, figure out what your opponents are doing. And I definitely, the one thing I am noticing, and obviously not a pro Rocket League player, but the one thing I do have seen in a lot, I can hear that game about to
Yeah,
start.
looks like we're getting back in game.
Got to get some more demos going because you got to create those openings because they're not going to be there just freely. All right, come on. Give me some good aerial.
Oh, yeah, see?
I talk about demos, they give me a demo. That's what I'm talking about. Well, that's a nice save. Come on, let's do this. Come on, keep it going. Give me... Where's your teammate following up? Like, that's the thing there. It's like someone needed to be taking out Micro with a good demo to give him that opening.
Yeah, like, Zoom in 4K individually, they get some really good moves in, but, you know, Los Perros, they have the teamwork, and I think that's what really set them apart in the first round.
Ooh, off the top.
Oh, that was a good save.
Definitely got a lot of pressure coming in here, and that's good. You're forcing them to all come back, return to their side, which takes a lot of pressure off yours. Because, like, the thing with Rocket League, you get to boost, you hit that ball with your car when you're boosting. You can send it across the... Oh, another demo we didn't quite get to see, but that's okay. You can send that across the field with a single hit if you've got a good boost on. And I think that's an important part here to think about is, like, ooh, off the wall.
Oh,
ooh.
see? Yep, there's the assist. There's the teamwork that we were talking about.
And they seem like when I know you only got a glimpse of that because we were watching the program feed, just as you guys. You can see the team. I'm hoping that's Los Perros because they smiled and went yeah when they got their goal. But like that, they're enjoying it. They're feeling good. They're working together, and I think that's a big part because like. Rocket League, the most popular format is 3v3, and part of that is you gotta know where your teammates are and trust them, because like if you have someone at your own goal, kind of doing a defense, having all of your team there isn't effective. You're just gonna be on the defense the entire time, so you have to be calling out when you need person back, when you need to be pushing out, and we're starting to see that from Los Perros, but I really do feel like. Zoom in 4K really need to just like really get that down. But you know, see.
Yeah, see that was a sweep.
Well, it's because like they had the goal was just open. And
yeah.
If you have to go across the entire field, you can see that right there. If you have to go across the entire field to do a save,
you're probably not going to make it.
You're not going to make it because if someone's hitting that ball with their boost on. They can actually, like, the chances of you catching that, even if you've got full boost, and if you're at 100% boost, you're doing your life. All right, well, this is a lovely gentleman. I hope he's putting in the energy. Give me some good Rocket League here.
Yeah, Zoom in 4K really, really just needs to communicate. They need some communication about where they're going, what they're doing. Unfortunately, unless Zoom in 4K can get it together, we're probably going to have, again, another sweep from Los Perros. And best of 5, once you get 3, that ends, so.
It's like, would it be better if it's a best of 7? It depends, you know. Like, I feel like I don't want to watch a best of 7.
No, I feel like best
of
of 5 is probably like the perfect amount because if after 3 rounds you and your team aren't getting it together, then I don't think it's quite as fun.
Oh, we got a smile, we got a goal.
There we go.
All right, Zoom in 4K. I'm counting on you guys. Get some communication going. You got Discord. Where are you? What are you doing? And you got to. The other thing I'm noticing is Los Perros is really definitely kind of doing a lot of boost denial.
Oh, that was a good save, Zoom in.
Yeah. And the thing you notice is when Zoomin did that save, there wasn't everyone else on his team coming to help.
Yeah.
And I think that's important because, like...
Well, because they're going to pass it. Once they save, it's going to go out. And
yep. got to juggle. Come on. Because you're only going to be able to do those off the wall, off the ceiling, all of the flights if you are getting your boost. And that's what I think a lot of players who are newer to the game, and including myself, kind of haven't quite been able to figure out is if you come and take a hundo, which is the big ball, that means your opponent doesn't have a hundo. So that was really good from Zuma.
Yeah.
He came through. He didn't need to take the hundo. But he's keeping himself full. And see, that's what if you don't have any boost, you're on the ground. You're not going to be able to really compete. You got to have some gas in the tank.
No.
Open. Come on, guys.
All right, that was a good play again by Los Perros.
Yeah, see, like, a part of that is the fact that they didn't have that boost. Because, like, the boost is going to also save your life. If you're out of position, you've got to be able to get and move fast. Plus, it's a lot harder to block a shot if it's coming in from the ceiling. And if you do a 360 no-scope McTwist, that's not the real terms.
Oh, that was good.
That was open. That was just straight up open. Those aren't the terms, by the way. 360 no-scope McTwist.
I thought that was exactly what it was, right?
There
is no scopes in this game, and they are going 360.
But there are actual terms. Don't know what they are. But oh, come on.
Oh.
Really? Oh, no.
Oh.
They were literally they were saved for a second by that corner bar.
But Zuman just couldn't make it.
But I think a big part of this is, like, I really do love, like, the Rocket League did add those animations. It's more fun.
I don't like the uvula hanging down in the back. That ain't it for me. I don't really like that a little bit, but I like the shark one.
Ooh, the shark one.
The
that's
shark
real
one.
good.
That one's good.
Ooh, okay. We got a demo. Not really a helpful demo, but come on.
Yeah, see, that's the teamwork. That's the teamwork that Zoom in 4K is, like, it's kind of hit or miss.
You got to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Because solo shooters are not going to win this game. The teams are talented enough that it's not a solo shooters game. This is a team game. Because you do the pubs here at LANFest, the early rounds, they are solo shooters. They're guys who have, hey, anybody want to join a Rocket League team? And that's about that community, right? Because this is not a $30,000 prize pool. I have no idea what the actual prize is, but knowing LANFest, it's probably like a mouse pad, or maybe if it's like a higher tier tournament, maybe like a donated from one of their amazing sponsors.
The prize is building community. That's what the prize is here.
LANFest does have some pretty amazing prizes.
Oh, that was
right over the sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think they're going to get another one in 3 seconds.
Okay. Zoom in 4K. If you can get a kickoff goal, I will be eternally proud of you and love you forever. Come on.
All right,
For
Zoom
me.
in.
Nope.
Nope. But hey, they got closer.
So you see what Los Perros just did? Because the timer had ran out and it was in the air, they knocked it immediately to the ground, which ends it.
Yeah.
Because I have seen teams that they juggle it and manage to get that goal. So we are going into Game 3.
And if Los Perros wins,
we're done.
Then they sweep the whole thing. I'm honestly, I kind of like to root for the underdogs. I'm hoping that Zoom in 4K like understood where they made the mistakes in the the first 2 rounds, because they were picking it up. They got it closer. They got to 5-4.
They did.
And they got like 2-3 goals in a row.
All I'm asking, I would love for us to go to a Game 4. I think that'd be super cool. But at minimum, I'm asking you, give me an overtime. Just something. Just a little bit of taste. Something that I feel like you guys are like, we've learned something. You know, these guys may have come in. I have no idea if they swept through or not, but they came in. They're on the back foot. Give me an overtime. Hell, let's go to Game 4. Or, just for fun, give me a full sweep. All right, we're back in the next match. All right.
All right, Zoom in 4K. You got to pick it up.
Give me overtime. That's all I'm asking. Anything else is an extra treat just for me. But you got your Discord.
Ooh, that was close.
You were saved by the bounce off the top bar. And, you know, it's okay. Come on. Give me something. All right. So, bounce off the wall. See, Micro is really coming in and...
Yeah.
Uwitsi? How do you say it? Is it Uwitsi?
Uwuzi.
Uwuzi. Those two guys are really very much like bouncing off each other. You see, look at that pass. It's like they know where each other are.
You can tell they got great communication.
Yeah, they go. What we're seeing is like we switch to them. I'm assuming the guys fist bumping are them.
Yeah.
You can see that they both have headsets on. They're chatting, and I think that's the thing with like a lot of the competitive games, is people like get serious and concentrated and they shut up, and that's not what you want to do. You want to be very clear where you are, because like Rocket League is a very fast-paced game. It ain't Age of Empires, right? Age of Empires, you're seeing everything from the tops down. Rocket League, you need to over-communicate because you need to really be like that team that is really doing well. And we're seeing that from Los Perros. Those teams are communicating in a way that like they know that their teammate is going to be there for when they shoot. And I think that's what's really what's differentiating his teams. I'm just feeling like I'm seeing.
Ooh.
I'm seeing the idea of there's a little bit of dual commitment to a same action out of Zoom and 4K. And I think both are very talented teams, but that I think is what's giving Los Perros a couple goals.
Well, because Zoom and 4K knows what they need to do. They're having trouble deciding who's the one who needs to actually be doing it. And I think that's the problem.
But that's okay. We only got one. So, like, you can still give me the overtime. All you got to do is score one.
Yeah, and then... Okay, well now they got to score two.
Score two.
But if they score two, and then just nobody scores anything for a while.
Yeah. Give me some overtime. I got to draw out my time on camera one way or another here, guys. Like, this is the only time you're going to see me on camera for years because I'm a behind-the-scenes guy 100%. Like, I think the last time I was on camera, someone just was yelling at me for a bit about apples on PAX Arena. But, like, that's the sort of thing of, like, give me some bit more airtime. But, like, we're having a good time here. And I think that's the other thing is like, as you're seeing these players, know that they're playing for community. And I think that's the best part of this. Because, like, the one thing having attended LANFest for, like, so many years is that we are building that community base that, come on, give me something here, guys.
Nope. No.
We got the pressure coming in from Los Perros, and every time they get it down, either Micro or Uwuzi is right there.
Ooh, there we go. Get one more. Gotta get one more.
Give me that overtime, guys.
Gotta get one more. But as you were saying, you know, that this is first and foremost about community and having fun.
Yep.
So even if it ends up being a clean sweep, I hope that both teams, you know, are having a good time and really enjoying, you know, just being here with the LAN, being with, you know, fellow Rocket League players who enjoy the game.
I was...
Overtime, come on. Nobody score anything for 2 minutes.
Or
each score one.
Yeah. I'll allow you guys to each score one. But that was a really good... That came so quickly.
Yeah.
That was a good kickoff goal, basically. And that's what I'm all about. Like, yes, it's really hard to commentate when someone gets a kickoff goal because it just happens and you're like, wait, what went down? But
I feel like the quickness of that is the spirit of Rocket League.
Yeah. If someone's not flipping over, okay, so that was really good communication. Because I did notice that Zoomin was the only one really in there, and I think that was helpful.
Yeah.
He knocked it out, and what? See?
Oh,
See?
Yep. See, I think they get to a point like mid-game where they really, really start to communicate. I think the problem is they're not starting out that way from the beginning.
Well, the one thing I'm noticing as we're switching to the one guy is I don't think there's anyone sitting next to him. So I think Los Perros gets the benefit of the fact that their seats are together because I'm seeing those fist bumps. The other camera is just showing he's concentrating real hard, but I think he's not. Like, there's something to be said about having your teammates next to you where you get that, like, energy-based fist bump to help you get through.
It helps the morale.
It helps the morale. But I'm counting on Zoom in 4K. I'm going to be greedy. And I know this cast a curse, and I apologize for this. But give me a game 4. Come on. Just for me. Give me a little present. Give me a game 4. I'm counting on you guys. Los Perros?
But you know what? It might go into overtime, though, this way, because it's 3-3.
3-3.
3-3, 1 minute left.
All right, so we got to do this, guys. Give me. You only got a minute. Just hang out for a minute. Give me that overtime, and maybe a game 4. I'm being a little greedy. I'm okay. All right, we're seeing some good teamwork.
Yeah. Zoom in 4K. Good save. Good save.
But we can see that they were able to get there because they had that boost, and I think that's the big thing that's like working through this. Oh no! No, man.
They still got over 30 seconds. They still got over 30 seconds.
Give me a kickoff goal. That'd be cool. You did that before.
Yeah. Replicate it. You can do it again.
And I think Elder Bob Doutier is really going to go for Zoom in 4K because the main reason is she doesn't like the golem mode.
I don't like it. I'm a big fan of the underdogs, you know?
We're going to keep going, and, like, if this is the end match, I still think it's, like, I definitely have seen, like, the turnaround. Zoom in 4K is really starting to be, like, we're here to play. We're here to really, like, we got here through the finals. We have beaten people to get here. We're showing up. And I think that's important, because even if, like, it doesn't end up being a Zoom in 4K game, and I'm not going to... Yeah, so if it touches the ground right now, it's over. But they could try. You can juggle.
I think they're trying. Nah, that's game.
But that is game. But I do love that they really were able to. That game, they felt a lot more dominant. Like they were actually higher score for a bit of that there too.
Yeah.
And we do have to give congratulations to our grand champions.
Los Perros, good job, good job.
They do win InfernaLAN 2025 Winter Break, I think is what this one event's called.
Yep.
Don't quote me.
Yep.
You know, our admins are going to come over and hit me with a book later because I'm not on top of branding. But I really want to congratulate the teams. They had a good time. And again, we're building that community because now we have a total of 4 players who, you know, it was feeling a bit more lean towards Los Perros, but like I still felt like it was a good, almost even game.
Yeah, well, I mean, Zoom in 4K, they were the ones that got the kickoff goal. I mean, that was so fast, we could barely even see it. So, like, they have the skills, they all love the game, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about building the communities for the love of the game.
And now, because they did feel like there was a back and forth, now, if they didn't know each other, I don't know these guys. My chapter is in Austin, but new players to play Rocket League with. I know, like, for Magic the Gathering, last night off stream, we had a whole bunch of people to get together. They got given a big box of Commander Booster, and they had, like, I think it was like 12 people all doing Commander Draft. And, like, there was people who have flown in for this because you're seeing this production because a group has come through and is doing a training for their staff on how to do production, which is super cool. Shout out to the guys behind the scenes. And a lot of them were then finding new... Riley is bringing us something.
Oh, we're getting something.
We're getting something awesome.
We're getting a prop.
But we're bringing that group together. And, like, I'm from Austin. You're from Austin.
I'm also from Austin.
We've got people from North Carolina.
Utah,
that sort of thing. And that's really cool. LANFest is able to bring those people together in kind of a common thing. You don't need to, like, know anything about these people other than you like games? I like games. Let's play some games. And LANFest definitely did start out of the Intel gaming group that was very gaming, like PC gaming focused to this end. But we have an amazing free play that has the PCs over there. But we also have consoles. We've got Xboxes with Halo, like old school Halo. and Magic the Gathering. And it's about it's not about
Well, LAN parties aren't just video games. Like if you're like I like watching video games, or I have loved ones who love video games, but I don't know what I would do at a LAN party. We've got board games. I saw a huge pile of board games back there. I play video games, but I'm more of a single player video games kind of person. But like if I'm gonna be at a LAN party with some friends, I'm gonna play some board games.
I know our Dallas chapter actually does an amazing people just come and they play I wouldn't call it a one shot because you're playing it for 3 days, but they're playing a mini campaign and over 3 days, and it's stuff like that that brings us all together. And I think that's what the big thing that LANFest has always been about. And I know we say the word community over and over and over again, but that is what this is. And my hope, kind of from my time involved with LANFest, is to help bring people together, because we are fairly isolated in our world. COVID changed everything. But we were already kind of isolated in ourselves. We'd play our video games, maybe we'd hop on Discord, but there is something different about the fact that if you're playing a video game, you're still playing through your computer, but bringing your rig, which you can show off, you can bring a sexy rig, but you're bringing that, you're dropping it down on a table, and you can see and feel the emotion of the room with the people you're playing with. Plus, I can also throw something at you if you're being awful to me in my video game, which is important to me. Soft things. We don't want to cause any injuries.
And there's also something to be said about being in person with people.
And how are you going to make new friends? All right.
We're going to have an interview.
Yeah, with Eddie. Going on to Eddie.
Hey, guys. We're here with the grand winners. We have Team Los Perros. All right. What are you guys' names?
Micro. Uwuzi.
Uwuzi and Micro, grand winners of InfernaLAN Rocket League Grand Finals. Their prize are some awesome, glorious Element mouse pads, the Ice Edition. So definitely a great way to help slick and move back and forth when you're playing Rocket League. So thank you guys for coming out and checking out the Grand Finals of Rocket League. Have a great day.
Are we coming back to us at any point?